Hello. Hello. And welcome to today's live stream, where we shall be attempting a further perfection in our craft of casting. Yes, live casting this time around. This is exactly what we're going to be doing today, so let's see if somebody shows up in chat. Wait a couple more minutes, and if they don't, well, we'll just go ahead and raw and hard, or hard and fast, or whatever else there is, whatever the usual expression. And we shall be casting. I've got 4 replays lined up today. Hopefully my face isn't too distracting. If my face is too distracting, you can tell me. I'll remove it. Got no problem with that. See if I can... Yeah. Let's reduce the face slightly. I think that works slightly better. Alrighty. This is going to be... Yeah, so like I said, I've got 4 replays lined up. Interestingly, 3 of them ended up being Nerox's map generator. I would have done something else, I would have picked something else, but unfortunately, most of the replays I've tried I tried to watch, see if they actually work or not. Most of them ended up not working. By which, of course, I mean they quite simply desynced halfway through. And if it ends up like that, we can't really watch it. Or at the very least, like I always say, we can't really know what happened. So yeah, we're going to be doing something else. Going to be doing mostly Mapgen, but also this Total Annihilation. I'll probably leave this one for last, to be honest, because I feel like it's probably the most fun one. And okay, I was generating immediately. What? I didn't even click the start replay button. It's already... Ooh, very cool. Yep, you can see the map right here. Map preview, that's pretty awesome. Out here, see? But anyway, let us start and go ahead and start the... What? What am I saying? No idea. Gonna eat a strawberry though. Oh. Yeah, the only thing is I gotta make sure my game is actually recording. And by that I mean the game is actually being captured, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the wrong game. Yep, there you go. It's Forged Alliance. Yep. Alright, let's see if that works. I'll wait for a couple moments for the map to, or for the stream to catch up. Yep, there you go. Okay. We can start riding proper now. So this is going to be a map called, of course, like I already said, Nerox's map generator. This time around, this one is a 4 versus 4 map, and even though, of course, the generator says it's 20 by 20, it's actually most likely going to be a 15 by 15, considering, you know, some edges are missing. There are blank spaces around the edges, which usually means it's going to be a little bit less space, namely 15 by 15 in this case. So yeah, starting from team 1 in the red corner, going from north to south this time around. First and foremost, we've got Brugler PDM at 1200 rank points, playing Aeon Illuminate and Winter Wipeout White and going first land. As would be expected on this map, I'd expect pretty much everybody to go first land, but we'll see if that is actually true or not. Next up, the first teammate, or the next teammate to the south, is going to be Strife. A pretty cool, a very concise and very cool name also. At 1600 rank points, playing the United Earth Federation, also known as UEF. In color confusion, Cyan going first land and then going straight for a hydrocarbon power plant. Another teammate down to the south is going to be StormLantern, one of the coolest names honestly I've seen out of Supreme Commander community so far. At 1900 rank points, playing Cybran in Road Rage Red going first land. And last but not least for this team, we're going to have ourselves Kampfkex 500. If you're interested in what Kampfkex means, it means battle cupcake in German, so a really epic name as well. A very fitting color as well, with fresh and fragrant orange, playing UEF going first land. Moving on to Team 2 on the other side of the world. In the purple corner, this time of course diametrically opposed, starting from south to north. First and foremost, we've got our first Seraphim representative for the day. It's going to be, I have no idea how to pronounce this name, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably Raelia. Something along those lines. Yes, playing Seraphim in Shrinking a Violet, going first land and playing at 1500 rank points. Further towards the north, in Blues Blue, we've got our first Cybran representative for this particular team. It's going to be Cheerios at 1500 rank points. And also going first land, but then second air. I wonder what second factories other people have queued up, but I suppose we'll see shortly. Next up is another Seraphim, and the last Seraphim for this particular match is going to be Yehonza, or something along those lines. At 1800 rank points, the highest ranked player of this particular team, playing Seraphim like I already mentioned in Thalassophobia Blue, going first land and also second air. Interesting. And last but not least for this match and for this particular team, once again going first land second air, is going to be Hachi, another orange, but this time this is like a rusty railing orange as I like to call it, playing Cybran at 1500 rank points. So basically it looks like a lot of people are going to be going both land and air. However, for example, we've got Prugler here, who is going for first land, second land, very close together as well. Next up, this person is already going for a transport. Strife is going for a transport, which seems like it will be occupied by engineers. And then second land, third land out of StormLantern, and second air, really slow second air out of Kampfkex. Well, although his commander is already out on the front lines, that may be why he is taking so long to build those factories, because his commander is already not building, just going out. So why exactly did they decide to start with engineers? Does it have anything to do with the map's terrain? Because I don't think so. Can I grab that? Yeah, thank you. I don't think so. It looks like everything is passable. You've just got some of these like ridges, weird cliffs and stuff, but they don't exactly make the terrain impassable. You can just walk around them pretty much everywhere, all over the map. I'm guessing just because the map is relatively large, they've decided to build some transports in order to get things done faster. Yeah, you can see pretty much everybody is already ferrying out engineers. This guy needs to be really careful. Kampfkex's courier is about to be pounced upon by an enemy interceptor. Yeah, the interceptor notices the transport, goes after it, but it's already too late as the engineers have landed and already started construction on some factories. So very interesting engagements we're going to have ourselves here. You've got some engineers dropped off by Yehonza as well. This time around they're actually looking to reclaim some stuff. Yep, they are first and foremost focusing on reclaim fields. The transport also has been flown out by Hachi, so pretty much everybody in this game, with a couple exceptions, yeah, pretty much everybody is going for whatchamacallit, transports, right? And it's already, it's a very interesting split of the map as well. You can see it's basically going to be 2 versus 2, or at least it should be, in both the north and the south. You can see Mr. Cheerios being a little bit indecisive, which could cost his fellow player Raelia their life, because already there are 2 commanders here from the opposing side. One of them is actually upgrading gun already, 5 minutes into the game. We've got Kampfkex who's just walking around. Probably should have reclaimed some of this stuff, but I'm sure somebody will send an engineer there relatively quickly. yeah, so reclaim on this map comes in both engineers, as you can see right here, as well as rocks. Those tiny red rocks, they only give 10 mass, but you know, it's still worth picking them up as soon as you can, because they've got plenty. There are plenty of them, and they're in relatively large clusters, and you can see those clusters. If you zoom out, you can see 300 here, 300 there, etc. Meanwhile, though, we've got our first naval engagement. So this map has the generator decided to play a bit of a trick, play a bit of a prank, and decided to generate a relatively small inner lake on this map. And currently we are witnessing Mr. Who's this? Yeah, once again, Cheerios asserting dominance over StormLantern in this lake, because already 4 frigates have come out and destroyed StormLantern's first naval factory. So in this case, Cheerios is a little bit faster on the uptake. I would also like to mention that technically Cheerios' direct opponent isn't actually, I'm pretty sure it isn't StormLantern. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be the white player, actually Prugler. Yeah, looks to be the case. Or maybe I'm just imagining things and it's no, yeah, so since Cheerios is highest from the what is this, second from the bottom, then his opponent should be second from the top, which is actually, no, it's not Prugler, it's this guy, Strife. Okay, never mind. So engagements between Strife and Prugler on the other side, and also 2 opposing commanders, Johansa and Hachi, on the other side. Doesn't look like they've got any upgrades on them though. Unlike in the south, where the situation is probably going to be completely catastrophic for Team 2, in the north they are relatively evenly matched. In fact, Hachi having already lost a whole bunch of health. It's probably not the best idea, however, in terms of spam wars, there's only spam from 1 player on either team, so yeah, it's a much more of an even matchup compared to this disaster right here. You can see Raelia pretty much having to abandon their position, already reduced below 3,000 health. My lord, that was fast. And both the tanks out from Kampfkex and the Mantises from StormLantern are just assaulting the positions mercilessly, completely running them over. However, with the arrival of a second commander, Cheerios, they now, yeah, it's probably a wise idea for the members of Team 1 to pull their forces back slightly. It looks like they might actually be interested in the reclaim though. What is this? There are missiles flying out. Oh! Alright, so the Raelia actually kind of sort of counters this this fast gun by going very fast. T2 already sending missile launchers, and what are these? Oh, these are engineers, okay. Yeah, I feel like Team 2 is still gonna be in a bit of trouble though, because they don't really have an answer for this gun right away. Nano being attempted by Raelia, but it's way too close. Yeah, see a couple Ilshevos do roll out and they scare StormLantern off, so right, in this case they're doing relatively okay, but still, those Ilshevos did in fact perish, and also grant some veterancy to StormLantern, which I'm sure he is relatively happy about, even if he can't reclaim them. Ooh, Cheerios gets caught out of position and loses a massive chunk of health again. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Below 2,000 health now, you gotta be really careful. And I'm not entirely sure if Nano is the correct answer to the gun. I guess it does make your commander more survivable, but you still gotta be really careful about all this. And he's he's operating stealth straight up on the front line. Yeah, the reason he's allowed to do that is because he's got Mantises who will boost the upgrade rate substantially. However, you still have to watch out. Okay, the gun being upgraded by Raelia as well now, so I guess it made sense for, if they were going for both Nano and gun, it made a lot of sense to go for Nano first, because it's a, you know, it gives you more health, and then gun, and there you go, it's done now. Also, stealth stealth being done comically fast for StormLantern, thanks to a bunch of Sparkies who have already been dropped on the front line. Spark is the unique UEF unit, the T2 combat engineer, much tankier, and also has a weapon on board, unlike other engineers. And those Sparkies, I think they also have a higher build rate than normal T2 engineers, but yeah, they will help now by constructing some forward defenses T2 turrets, which are actually a pretty good counter to gun. once you've accumulated some critical mass. So even a gun nano commander like Raelia might have some serious trouble. Hachi, meanwhile, on the north again, has managed to upgrade both stealth and gun now, fighting against double gun from Prugler. How did they manage it so fast? I looked away for like a second, and now suddenly everybody has a gun and stealth. I should probably slow down the game, you know. A strategic bomber now flying out from Yahanza, so it's super fast. T3 air as well, although I guess it's 13 minutes, it's kind of to be expected, but damn, that was fast. A T3 fighter already coming out of StormLantern as well, so interestingly enough, StormLantern going hard into both land and air. I don't think he's noticed the bomber yet though, and this is a huge problem because the bomber has already destroyed how much mass? Like 7,000? Yes, like 8,000 now pretty much. And it shows no signs of stopping. Probably, though, it stands to reason the StormLantern might not want to engage for the simple reason that there are so many fighters tailing this bomber as well, so it's not entirely alone, it's being escorted. A bit of a stalemate so far on the southern side, after Raelia as well as Cheerios did successfully manage to contain this gigantic push that Team 1 was attempting. Now things have calmed down quite a bit. I don't even see the commander of... oh, there you go. Kampfkex commander still has nothing for upgrades. Meanwhile, though, a strategic bomber has been launched by StormLantern as well. However, it's in the friendly territory for some reason. Not entirely sure what that's all about. I guess it's, we're just trying to escape a whole bunch of enemy interceptors. Interestingly, though... okay, I did just lose the bomber. But I do see its wreckage though. It attempted to drop some bombs on one of the forward positions of StormLantern, and it would get shut down finally by some fighters. Alright, looks like the T3 bomber out from StormLantern is still being pursued by all of the enemy T1 interceptors, which are of course easy pickings for those fighters, but still, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing for the bomber to be escaping from them for so long. Yahanza, meanwhile, also with a nano and gun on the front line, so you've got two powerful commanders against just one powerful commander. The commander of... who's this again? Oh yeah, the commander of Strife has retreated actually. Wouldn't be much help anyway because he's got no upgrades, but still. Prugler could be in some serious trouble. He realizes it and goes for another upgrade, this time the shield. Ooh, some serious damage Yahanza is taking as well. There are now T2 turrets on both sides, both Hachi as well as Prugler building up some forward defenses. A shield generator even going up for Prugler. This position is growing less tenable by the second for Team 2. I feel like they have to retreat, but meanwhile on the other side of the world, for some reason, StormLantern is pushing again, with this time with a whole bunch of bricks as well. So StormLantern already having completed his T3 land upgrade, both T3 land and air, and going super hard into enemy territory, pushing against Raelia, trying to eliminate his commander. This would actually be a huge loss, even though this is a Mapgen match, which means, you know, this essentially just means that if you lose the commander, most likely the full share is enabled, which means all of your properties goes to another player. However, this commander would actually be a huge loss because Raelia has invested a ton of resources into it. You know, 2 upgrades and so much veterancy as well. This commander is a serious credit to the team, so you really wouldn't want to lose that. Still has to be extremely careful though. It looks like a transport has been sent out by an ally, most likely Hachi, I'm guessing, or oh, actually, I have no idea who this is, but yeah. Ooh, and they're about to destroy it. Oh, ow. That, what? Okay, so StormLantern just controlled Kate out of the game apparently, or he got bombed by something, I'm not sure. Don't see any bombers though, so it's like it's just exploded out of nowhere. However, before he died, he did manage to actually destroy the T3 land headquarters of Raelia. He just sends a smiley face. Oh wait, what? Okay, so they both exploded for some reason. Oh. Wait, was it because like Raelia was trying to escape, so he just got blown up by the transport got blown up, and so his commander crashed and died. Whoa! Well, would you look at that? Cheerios coming up with a heavy microwave laser. Ooh, spicy. Okay, so we've got the laser upgrade on Cheerios commander. He's now already a 4-star veteran. Oh my goodness, bricks are being transport dropped into the enemy base, trying to finish off the base of Raelia. There really isn't that much to finish off. There are a couple of T2 massing structures they could get, but other than that, it's nothing particularly important. Another commander also being ferried down into this position. Johanza also trying to farm up some free experience on those bricks. Yeah, I feel like he should be okay. He's got overcharge. It's not enough to kill one brick, but still, it should do its job. Transport's crashing, but nobody really cares. And this could be a huge problem for Team 1, though, for the simple reason that StormLantern did seem to be their air player, which means... Who's managing air now? I don't know. Not me, that's for sure. I can't even see his base anymore. Where is it? Is this one? I think it was this one because yeah, there's like T3 air and stuff. And yeah, Strife started as UEF, so this is StormLantern's main base. So I guess Strife is the new designated air player. He's building both Wasp fighters and Gemini fighters now. For a relatively formidable air fleet. Let's see about the stats. Strife has got 47 air units in total. Johanza sitting with 40. So it stands to reason that Strife has a bit of an advantage here. Meanwhile, a stalemate continues on the northern front. Although, in this case, it looks like Hachi is just kind of taking a chill pill and sitting back, trying to reclaim the units that have been destroyed here. It will be a little bit problematic because there are 2 Oblivion turrets who already got some good veterans on them as well, killed tons of units as well. Oh, down goes another Rhino tank. You really gotta stop sending out those Rhino tanks. It looks like he's got like a rally point from a factory right underneath the crosshairs of these Oblivion cannons, and he keeps sending them. What is happening here? There is another massive push by Bricks, and now Percival's joining in as well as Titans. Another push against the facilities of Team 2. How did they even get here? I guess the problem is Cheerios is attempting to push them back with Navy, but like there's nothing to actually sit there and take damage. Now with the commander of Johanza coming out, it could be easier. Ooh, 3 Titans killed in one shot. Now that's value. And still some more experience to gain from... Oh my god, this is so dangerous. Please, God, please land. This is ridiculous. Enemy fighters could swoop in and destroy this commander at any moment. There you go. Okay. There you go, putting that laser to work. Look at this, just the Titans just getting vaporized. Should be a little bit careful about Percivals. Percivals can actually kite the commander to death because they've got longer range and also do some serious damage. That's actually just one Percival, the other one is a brick. Oh my god, he's about to die. What are you doing? What? Oh no. Johanza just casually gets blown up by 2 Percivals and a brick. Oof. Sometimes they don't even need to kite you, they could just kill you straight up. Oh well. A massive hover tank push out from Kampfgex meanwhile. Kampfgex is making hover tanks to match the opposing navy. Considering that Cheerios isn't going too hard into navy, it's kind of working though, because, you know, normally I think, from what I remember, normally I think mass for mass frigates can actually beat hover tanks, but when there are so many of them, and so few frigates, it doesn't really matter. This game is too sweaty, says Cheerios. I'm not entirely sure I agree. I mean, you have made a microwave laser and are just constantly destroying entire squadrons of enemy T3 units, so I'm not sure if that statement holds any water. But meanwhile, it looks like a push is being attempted by Hachi on the northern flank, and somehow with those hoplite rocket bots of his, he did manage to overwhelm Brugler's forward position and now is pushing back even further. Control K being... Oof. Okay, Cheerios Control K is out of the game, and... What? Well then. This game is too sweaty, they say as the old rage quit. I actually don't remember this game being this short, but okay. You have much more mixes than your opponent, but you did nothing for a game? Huh? No, I feel like they're just arguing here, yeah. It looked like a rage quit to me because they're arguing between each other, but no, well, sometimes that's just what happens. You just get overwhelmed, sensory overload and all that stuff, low morale, and you just control K, and there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. It was fairly entertaining. We didn't see any experimental units, of course, but we did see a whole bunch of other really cool stuff. So, yeah. Hope you liked that. Let us proceed to the next match. This time I'm going to slap a bit of variety on that one. Let's go for a matchmaking game, because, you know, the last one was... yeah, the last one was a lobby game, of course. You could clearly see it from the player colors and stuff. This one is going to be matchmaking. It's a new feature as well, you know, 3v3 matchmaking, which I recently did a recording about. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start this one. Hey, the map looks awesome, by the way. Really enjoyed the design of this map as well. The generator truly made something spectacular here. Okay. So, this map once again is a Neroxus map generator. Randomly generated map. This one is a 20 by 20, but it's so tiny compared to these borders that I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a 10 by 10 actually. Or like 12.5 by 12.5 or something like that. Because it is definitely not a 20 by 20 and it's smaller than the other one. I should have been, why did I speed up so much? I'm not entirely sure. I messed up there, but that's okay. We've still got time to introduce the players before they destroy each other and my career. Anyway, so starting from team 1 in the purple corner. On the frontal southern position, we've got ourselves Kinder5129 playing UEF in shrinking violet at roughly 1300 rank points, going first land, second air. And next up on the sort of frontal northern position, we've got ourselves the Lich King. What an amazing name. Sorry, the Lich King 1. Playing Aeon at 1000 rank points in Thalassophobia Blue, going first air, interestingly enough. And last for this team is going to be Mochnat, which means fuzzy in Russian, in case you're wondering, at 1200 rank points, playing UEF in Blues Blue and going, I'm assuming to be first land, second air. It kind of makes more sense that way. Already a transport being sent out with 5 engineers in it 3 minutes into the game. Relatively impressive, but it looks like the transport out from their opponents is going to be even faster. Speaking of the opponents, the first one in the red corner on team 2, the first one is going to be Stupid Noob 228. Amazing name. Very self-aware, I'd say. At 1000 rank points, playing Seraphim and Coordinate Red, going first land, and no other factories so far. On the frontal southern position, we are going to witness Shame Phoenix at roughly 1400 rank points, playing Seraphim in Fresh and Fragrant Orange, going first land, second air. And last but not least, on the back position, air position, so to speak, we are going to have ourselves Fairer at 1000 rank points, playing UEF in Road Rage Red, going first land and second air. So no Aeon in this game at all. Nice, no team play, says Stupid Noob already. What? Do fuck all? Go fuck all? What? Why? What do you mean no team play? Alright, well, he has sent out a whole bunch of combat scouts to, well, scout the territory, spot everything. Yeah, so we've got one transport, yeah, so the central plateau on this particular map seems to be, Control V please, yeah, seems to be inaccessible by land, so naturally everybody rolls out transports. And with these transports, they do manage to go, yes, to land on this. Ooh, that was a huge hit. Yep, a massive hit by the attack bomber. So the bomber does manage to destroy the engineers, but not in time to stop the construction of the factory. The factory is now up. And now the same thing is happening on the other side. Let's see if the bomber... Okay, this one is gonna claim 3 engineers and also a rock. Which is also important because this rock had reclaimed it. These are like weird ice rocks. Not entirely sure what those are all about, but yeah. You really gotta stop that enemy bomber, though, flying over your own factory and destroying that. Alright, all the engineers have been killed. The bomber will be shot down, but it's already done its job, so that's fine. We've got these civilian objects here, or neutral objects as it were. But they are protected by the T1, what is this, point defense turrets, right? Yeah, these can sting pretty good, especially in the early game, when your commander has got no upgrades, but nevertheless, Kinder is just bravely tanking them to the face. Meanwhile, it looks like Phoenix is interested in no such thing, and will just routinely continue to walk by. Alright, so yeah, the turrets have been destroyed. Now you can destroy these buildings as well and reclaim them all. I don't even think you need to destroy them, really. How much is this? 85 mass? Okay, it's not that much. 41 mass. Why is this giant building cost less mass than this one? Also, by the way, fun fact, these are Aeon civilian buildings, like you can see, Aeon Manufacturing Center. But there are no Aeon players in this game, so yeah, it's kind of a weird lack of Aeon representation. Although it's not weird, because historically I'm pretty sure the Aeon have just been yeah, well, for the last few years at least, Aeon haven't been particularly well received, or not many players like them. Oh my goodness, there's going to be a clash of engineers here. So it looks like Führer is trying to basically aggress against who's this, Kinder, and try to claim one of Kinder's, nominally Kinder's islands for himself. But Kinder pays very good attention and actually destroys the opposing engineer with his own engineer. So this little plateau is still in his hands. This plateau is really weird because it's like, yeah, it's still inaccessible by land, but there is nothing here. There's just a bunch of rocks. There's no reason to go on this one, to land on this one. You can just reclaim those rocks from downhill, and that'll be it. There's no reason to be there. It looks like, oh yes, more factories being constructed now by the engineers, by extra engineers that Mohnan has ferried out. However, now there is a massive squadron of tanks that's rolled out, and is in the process of destroying these as well. A few bombers might help matters, but yeah, a bomber cannot kill a tank in one pass. That is common knowledge. And there are so many interceptors now from Phoenix, it's kind of crazy how invested Phoenix is in this platform, even though it's really relatively far away from him. Meanwhile, though, Kinder is getting a one-up on Phoenix by destroying and reclaiming more civilian structures that would be on Phoenix's side. So a bit of an oversight by Phoenix, but you know, he's preoccupied elsewhere and is being relatively successful with that, with the help of bombers and interceptors out from Führer as well. So some nice team play, even despite what Stupid Noob has said. Stupid Noob has paused the upgrade. I'm guessing not enough energy, right? Yeah, it looks like he ran out of energy entirely. Bomber this. What? It's just a factory, bro. It's just a factory. Why? Bomb this, why? Yeah, also keep in mind that the ratings of these players might not be entirely accurate, since, you know, 3v3 matchmaking is still a relatively new system. Their ranks are still could be low, much lower compared to their first, for example, 1v1 ladder rank or their lobby rank. These could be a lot lower than their ranks in other departments, so it might not show their true skill, you know, entirely. So the big plateau has been completely cleared of any Team 1 presence. Now it's just Shame Phoenix reigning supreme, although it looks like Führer wants a slice of the pie for some reason as well, and also is constructing 3 factories. What? Why 3 though? You already won this plateau, just one is enough, like what's up with that? Not sure. But interestingly enough, Phoenix, even though he is of course not entirely doesn't entirely have access to the front line, did move up and capture some of those massive structures that were kind of in the middle between Stupid Noob and Phoenix. Actually, speaking of that, Mokhnat has done the exact same thing. Now the airdrops are coming as well. Okay, so Phoenix, not being entirely satisfied with, you know, just claiming the plateau for himself, also decides to airdrop some artillery pieces as well into Mokhnat's base and destroy those mass extractors that probably just were constructed. Of course, you know, those mass extractors are only T1, so it's not a big loss, but still, must have been awfully annoying. Well, now he's got himself a T2 engineering suite, so he could make some plays with that, like build an artillery, T2 artillery for example, and blast some of the structures on the plateau, even though it's probably too costly and not entirely worth it, so never mind that. A naval factory being constructed by Kinder on the front line as well. What front line? I mean on the middle lake, sort of. The interesting choice, I guess it does make sense if you think about it, because you get access to pretty much the main base of Phoenix, as well as a few other forward positions of other players. Tech 2 being constructed, upgraded directly on the front line by Kinder. If Phoenix realizes that, he might as well go for it and just do some horrific damage to Kinder's commander with this artillery. But it looks like he doesn't entirely commit. He just, yeah. He just retreats for now in the face of the opposing tanks, because tanks counter artillery fairly well. Not as well as light assault bots are, of course, but still, tanks do the job because, you know, tanks are direct fire. They can dodge incoming artillery shots, while they are much more precise because their shots, you know, fly much faster. But anyway, yeah, the reason you can get a massive advantage by bombarding your opponent with artillery as they are upgrading is because, well, when your opponent is upgrading, they are of course rooted in place, they can't move, or they have to cancel the upgrade. So either you do some extraordinary damage, they could have probably reduced the health of Kinder by like half or even more while he was standing still upgrading. They could have done that, or Kinder would have had to cancel the upgrade, which means wasting all the resources he already put into it, and retreat. So yeah, if you see somebody upgrading on the front line, you can always and should always punish them by doing exactly that. Just send some artillery pieces their way and they will be in major trouble. Meanwhile, T2 engineering suite also up for Phoenix as well. However, this turret is a little bit too close to the tanks, so they will do some serious damage to it before they get cleared. Hopefully the turret is now shooting the opposing turret, now it's shooting the commander. This is not the correct choice. This turret cannot kill the commander, but then again, he doesn't actually see anything because of the, yeah. There you go, now you see there is an opposing turret, and that's a major problem because your turret will be destroyed. Bit of a shame. I'm guessing they're going for a kind of a forward-based standoff here. Meanwhile, like I said before, Mokhnat is trying his best to make use of his T2 engineering suite, building some T2 as well as T1 turrets on the plateau. Worked out brilliantly so far. You see, this T2 turret won't let any tanks or artillery pieces get close, which means he's now re-establishing his presence. So very well executed so far by Mokhnat. Have to applaud that. Alright, meanwhile we've got the Lich King just hanging out. The Lich King is just doing what the Lich King always does, just sitting there and enjoying the view. Meanwhile, his direct opponent, Stupid Noob, is building a what? Okay, these are just tanks. What is going on? Why do you need so many tanks 13 minutes into the game? What is happening? Did he just forget to pause the factories, or? Oh, also they're coming out of his base rather than any sort of forward location. This is his main base. He's sending a massive string of tanks to the front line, and then they're just standing there doing nothing. What's happening? Well, he does have he does have gun and regen, so it looks like he's attempting the yeah, alright, so he's attempting the Seraphim gun and regen strategy, or at least regen strategy, where basically you build a bunch of Ilsheva assault bots, which are the best T2 units in the game, and then you build a regen field on your commander, which means the units next to your commander will regenerate health based on their own maximum health. So the more the health they have, the more they will regenerate per second. And basically the Ilshevos having 2700 health are very well equipped to just walk next to the commander, destroy everything, and at the same time not be destroyed in turn because they just keep regenerating. So it's a very powerful strategy, and he is taking it one step further by going advanced regen. He's actually good on energy, which is really surprising. I thought such a powerful upgrade would probably be, you know, very much more costly in terms of power, but he's actually only out of mass, not energy. The reclamation of the central plateau continues for Mokhnat. He is making use of the fact that, you know, Phoenix's commander is nowhere to be seen, and Phoenix probably won't commit like a T2 land factory to this plateau. So he's just PD creeping, yeah? Just building point defense turrets closer and closer, ever closer to the enemy positions, and slowly but surely those PDs will wipe out everything that stands before them. And there is very little in terms of countering that. However, just as I said that Phoenix probably won't commit so hard to this plateau, here we go, he actually does. He builds his T2 land factory headquarters on the plateau, which means he can now produce Ilshevos and missile launchers, which missile launchers do in fact counter these turrets. But as soon as he loses this factory, he will most likely lose the ability to produce T2 units altogether. Meanwhile, though, a massive Janus bomber push, a Janus bomber raid by Fearer. I have no idea how I managed to miss these Janus bombers being constructed, but yeah, they do destroy the air headquarters of, who's this, the Lich King, right? Yeah, the Lich King's headquarters, air headquarters are now gone. So is his T2 power generator. Massive catastrophic damage being dealt to the Lich King here, and the Janus bombers are still operational. You know, of course, Janus bombers being primarily bombers, they aren't very good at anti-air, at least compared to the mass use put into them, but the Janus bombers do have some of the best anti-air for the T2, among the T2 bombers. At least they've got that going for them, and now they will also attack the T3 land headquarters as well. And I'm not entirely sure if there's anything the Lich King can do about that. Like, in theory, you'd think that probably at this point, 15, almost 16 minutes into the game, there should be some T3 air out for Mokhnat, but with so many Janus bombers, you know, just a couple T3 fighters won't stop them. And, like, he can't produce, Mokhnat can't produce more than a couple fighters because he's only got T2 power. He doesn't have T3 power yet. So this could turn into a major problem for Team 1. Oh my goodness gracious. Yep, the entire base of the Lich King has been destroyed. He's now been reduced to just his commander and a couple of mass extractors. And at this point, this is where the team play comes in, because now Stupid Noob is pushing as well with everything he has. It's a bit unfortunate that they are going to be coming in piecemeal and getting destroyed one by one, because they are coming in through narrow corridors here. It's not the best position. Not to mention the commander is lagging super far behind. All of the Ilshevos already went forward and they will probably die soon as well. So it's not the best execution, but the idea is great. Wait for your for your opponent's entire base to be destroyed and then walk in to finish the commander. It's brilliant. Yeah. So the T2, of course, you know, the Oblivion cannons, the Aeon T2 point defense turrets are famously bad at dealing with T1 units. But at the very least, we've got ourselves, excuse me. Okay, yep, and there you go, blows up. Bye-bye, the Lich King. You surprisingly didn't last all that long. Compared to what would be expected of the Lich King, but that's okay. The clash in the middle now continues, with Shame Phoenix also being airdropped in on the plateau as well. His commander itself is here now. The fact that the HQ still survives, thankfully, luckily for him, he's now building autostrel turrets behind the commander as the commander blasts the opposing commander. So this is a serious, very important matchup here. This could decide the game. If Team 1 loses another commander here, I am not entirely sure they would be able to recover. But he is building T1 point defense turrets right in the enemy's face. They are doing some serious damage, although they are mostly damaging the opposing tanks. Whoa, that is a lot of damage. Oof, Mokhnat just control K's out of the game. Oh. Well, at least all of the enemy Ilshevos are destroyed, but yeah, this is not a very good look, as Phoenix World is now basically unopposed. There's just a couple of T2 turrets, which are very easy to wipe out by the by missile launchers. Although for some reason he's only building engineers for now. That's a massive stack of T2 engineers you've got, but not entirely sure what they're doing. Meanwhile, though, T2 Navy has been achieved by Kinder, who is now sending out cruisers. Since he stands completely unopposed, he can, in this lake, he can just produce cruisers right away. Sending out cruisers in order to bombard the opposing shores. Now they are in some serious trouble because they need to figure out some kind of defense for these cruisers. Shame Phoenix being bombed by a strategic bomber now. Is there any sort of counter to that? Because like we saw before, right? Farrer has got a bunch of Janus bombers, but has he got any T3 fighters? I don't think he's still producing Janus bombers. This is not good. This is really bad now for Farrer. And his power. Oh no! Ooh, oh god, that hurt. That hurt to watch. 2 T2 power generators blown up for Farrer. He is now left completely without energy, basically. And now the bomber is coming in for the second pass. It's going to destroy the Hydro as well, right? Nope, misses the Hydro. Would have been spectacular if it hit the Hydro, but yeah. The generators are, of course, immediately rebuilt. The factory is paused. But the bomber isn't done with its rampage yet. It could actually just go ahead and finish up the commander of Phoenix now. He's not protected at all. I think just 2 bombs should be enough to do him in. And it looks like it's exactly what he's doing. Ooh, so many engineers just popping out of existence like that. Alright, here comes the final bomb, right? It's going to come eventually, right? 4 cruisers out meanwhile. 3 cruisers meanwhile. Out soon is going to be. Ooh, and all of the Janus bombers also wiped out in the explosion. What a brilliant strategic bomber out of Mr. Kinder here. Using, by the way, he's using Mokhnat's base. This isn't his base, this is Mokhnat's base. So Mokhnat went for T3 here. Managed to not accomplish anything with it, but then in comes Kinder for the rescue and just destroys everything and everybody. So now the map is kind of evenly split, right? Almost evenly. The western half being entirely controlled by Kinder, while the eastern side is controlled by Team 2. Even the plateau is still contested because, you know, they lost a commander here, of course, and they lost a whole bunch of other stuff, but still, the enemy commander was also killed at the same time. The cruisers are now accumulating. Now remember, those are UEF cruisers. These are actually marginally harder to stop those missiles in comparison to, let's say, Seraphim cruisers, which, well, of course, there are only 2 factions that produce missile cruisers, those being Seraphim and UEF. And now, they're also being invaded by land. A whole bunch of, what are these? Oh, these are just pillar tanks. Yeah, just... Sorry about that. Kinder just assaulting the enemy positions with everything from the air. Just completely destroys the opposing air production as well as the one of the enemy commanders and the entirety of the opposing air force with a brilliant explosion. By sea, already constructing 5 cruisers, which are now wiping out all the mass extractors. And next up, he's also attacking from land using pillar tanks, although at this point it should probably be Titans or something, but still. He's keeping up the pressure in all avenues, and for some reason, stupid noob is actually not exerting any pressure on the T3 air production facilities of Kinder, which he probably should. Like, if I'm pretty sure if the commander just walks in by itself, there's nothing that can stop it here. Just blow up a couple, yeah, walk underneath the oh, well, okay, never mind, there's... Wait, what? Oh, these are railguns, these are anti-air, yeah, I'm pretty sure... Okay, never mind, there's a bunch of triads, yeah, okay, never mind. He cannot simply walk in with his commander, but still, this base looks relatively poorly protected. There's, like, no TMD here, at the very least. Yeah, there's no TMD. So you could build a couple of TMLs here and just to destroy the power generator or something with those. And that could be serious trouble for Team 1. Anti-missile, what? Oh yeah, he's saying... Build some tactical missile defense for these cruisers. 2 strategic bombers are now flying in, once again bombing the main base of Farrer. Cap mixes, what? Huh? There are no mixes here, what? You cap! What? they're just... they're just pinging on the territory where there is nothing there. Farrer is telling... Farrer is telling stupid noob to cap the mixes, which means essentially to surround them with mass storage units, but there are no mixes there. There are no extractors. They haven't been built. So like what? Alright, so a pretty big loss once again being inflicted on Fear. Now one of his T3 power generators has been destroyed. The T3 factory is still standing, and there you go, he finishes another T3 generator, but that looked really scary for a second. Just two bombers managing to inflict so much damage. It looks like Phoenix's main base is about to get completely annihilated here, as it's being surrounded by, once again, pillar tanks. Can't stress that enough, he's still building pillar tanks, but this, yeah, with this gigantic artillery battery, it's definitely... This artillery alone is enough to finish this entire base, by the way. There's no reason to send the tanks even, because if you send the tanks, the artillery won't pay off, because it will destroy less. But that's okay. T3 is building T3 naval HQ, and this tiny little pond over here, just a casual T3 land headquarters, T3 Navy headquarters, by the way. Yeah, you know what it says, you know what, cruisers are boring. Let's go for some nuke subs and battleships. Yeah, that's the stuff, that's where it is, truly. Well, let's see how that works out. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Okay, the main base is still standing. There is still a T3 HQ here somehow. Not entirely sure how it still survived, but yeah, the Il-Chevaux are actually doing a very good job of protecting the base from the pillar tanks, which we know obviously. The Il-Chevaux are excellent against pillar tanks, like, of course they are. But the missile launchers, though, yeah, he's not noticing the missile launchers, so they are still standing there, just blasting away. And the last few remaining mixes in the base go down. Meanwhile, the assault continues, or not the assault, but rather the bombardment continues from the cruisers. Yeah, you can see every missile from a UEF cruiser takes 2 anti-missiles to destroy, and there are also lots more of them than the Seraphim, so already... Oh wait, yeah, there's just a bunch of artillery just rolls in and destroys those TMDs. That works as well, sure, just, yeah. No problem, just destroy the friggin' TMDs with artillery, and then the cruisers have free reign. Which they don't, because the TMD hasn't been destroyed, but whatever. The job's already been done. Yeah, artillery is just straight up better at it. Fair enough. There is a pretty big squadron of Il-Chevaux here, and this time there is no commander to stop them, so the Il-Chevaux could walk in and wipe all of this out, so the plateau could be completely cleaned up again. Calm to kill. Well, yeah, but it's not exactly easy, is it? This guy is not gonna die to Janus bombers, let me tell you that. She's accompanied by so many, yeah, he's already got flak cannons, and he's already accompanied by T2 engineers. I was gonna say T3, but no. He's going T3 on his commander, which means that he can just build a SAM launcher and just protect himself from pretty much any number of strategic bombers, or at least like 5 of them. And if he builds any more, chances are he's gonna lose air, because, you know, air is still being produced by Mr. Kinder here, although he's not going fighters, interestingly enough, because I guess he realizes that, you know, his enemy isn't very interested in producing fighters either. He's also building strat bombers, because, you know, why not? So yeah, nobody cares about air superiority in this game, like nobody, ever. They're just like, yeah, let's go strat bombers, let's go broadswords, yeah, that's gonna win everything. Like, who needs air superiority when you can just achieve it by destroying your opponent's factories? That works, right? Yeah, let me drink for a second here. Führer is apparently gonna T2 land somewhere. I wonder if it's UEF or Seraphim. I guess I can check. Well, this is not land. Oh yeah, here, UEF, okay. His commander is also walking out into the middle of nowhere for some reason. I am not entirely sure what's up with that. Kind of looks like he's given up on life for some reason, because this is a very dangerous position for your commander. Like, where is he walking? Just out into the middle. Like, he's gonna stop here and do nothing? What? This is very bizarre. Scouts now flying over his base. They will definitely see his commander. And this could be a major problem. I mean, as long as he's still interested in finishing the game, of course, or as long as he still wants to fight. And already you can see the T3 gunships coming in. I'm not entirely sure if Fury even has any fighters. Control F. He's got 8, except they're all for some reason at the top. They are, yeah, they're just at the north somewhere, when his commander is being destroyed as we speak already by 3 broadswords. I wonder if any more broadswords or strats are going to show up. I'm actually not sure if he can fight off the opposing fighters because he just might not have enough of his own. But the broadswords already destroy the commander, so it doesn't even matter. They did their job. Their job, yes. So now, yeah, the broadswords get shot down. He's also microing air horrendously here. So, yeah, it's everything has been destroyed. However, I am not entirely sure if Stupid Noob is in the mood to play, considering he's just called his team Stupid Idiots. Look in the mirror, I guess. I don't know. More broadswords also being constructed by... This guy is so toxic, yeah, kind of, sort of. Yep, sometimes it's just what happens. Okay, you're building a shield in the presence of an enemy... Oh, it's just an Ilshivo, never mind. I was gonna say in the presence of an enemy Titan, but would this guy have Titans? Nope. Only Kinder is technologically advanced enough to have Titans at all. It's gonna... Yep, just 3 Percivals just casually walk in, and, well, there are a bunch of T2 turrets, but I don't think these turrets will do enough damage to stop the Percivals. Because they could, yeah, they get just destroyed in 2 hits by the Percivals. It's kind of a problem when... Okay, did they nerf the blast radius in the Percivals? Because I'm pretty sure it used to be higher. Okay, you should not be building a T3 shield in a circumstance like this because it will never go up before it's too late. Also, they are still not targeting the turrets. Okay, well, at least they destroyed the power plant. And the shield is back up, so yeah. Not the greatest of micro. But would you look at that, there is now a battleship in this tiny lake as well. Yep, like I said. What is that? Is that a cruiser? I think it's a cruiser. Yep. There's a casual battleship in like the tiniest lake imaginable, although I think this lake is bigger than on the last map, but still. Completely out of mass, no problem, we'll just keep building ships. Okay, finally the main base of Fearer gets overrun. I think at this point we can speed things up because I honestly don't understand what Stupid Noob is doing. It's like building artillery and blasting the enemy air production with the artillery, but like... It's not very efficient, you know? It could have just done the same thing with TMLs. It's not... You can just... Oh, wait. It can just be moved slightly and then, like... I guess it's hard to move a T3 factory though, so there are some mirrors to it. He's almost destroyed the enemy T3 power plant. Does have one more though. Ooh, the power plant blows up. Oh, okay. So as soon as all the enemy power production is blown up, he just control K's out of the game as well. Oh well. At least this match was super entertaining to watch with all the airdrops, all of the crazy plays, the friggin' Janus bombers entirely just wiping out an opponent's base. That's not something you see every day, you know, that was pretty cool. Highly recommend watching this replay. I should probably, you know what, I should probably just paste the link to this replay to my, not to my Discord, but like the live chat so everybody can see it. Copy replay URL. Where's the live stream? Here. There you go. There's the replay. Now, okay, so I am going to go on a bit of a break for a few minutes. So, yeah. Watch out. I'm coming back soon, and then I've got 2 more casts lined up for you today. And then I think I'll end the stream, but still, those casts should be super entertaining. So yeah, look out for these, just a few minutes if I will be back shortly. If you enjoy this stuff and you want to see more, then please by all means like the stream, the video, subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and maybe leave a comment down below if you're watching after the fact. Okay, I will be back shortly. Have a good one. Have a good few minutes, I mean, while I'm not here. I am back. Am I? Think I should be. Hello again. We've got 2 more replays to cast, in case you're just joining us. Yes, next up is going to be another Mapgen game. But this time is gonna, yeah, it's a 6v6. And look at this, the map is completely wide open, I love it. Also, for some reason, it's only got 1 clock on it, but I'm pretty sure it's because this is the local replays tab and not FAF replays, so maybe that's why. But okay. Let's go look at it together, shall we? Okay, can anybody explain why my loading screen is always Aeon? Like, I like it to be changing, you know. I like all of the factions, so like, why is it always Aeon for me? I'm really not sure. God, of course I'm getting text at the worst possible time. Sorry about that. At least this time I slowed the game down instead of speeding it up. Damn it. Okay. Anyway, we are going to have ourselves a 6v6 here on this wonderful map, once again created by the Neuroxis map generator. This is going to be a wide open map. As you can see, there's just barely any sort of limitations. There's just this little plateau in the middle, which is once again inaccessible by land. Also, these are inaccessible by land, and it's very much worth it to airdrop on them, because you've got 5 mass extractor points on each, as well as a whole bunch of nice tasty reclaim. So definitely worth dropping. Yeah, looks like this is once again a small map, like a 10 by 10. But maybe somebody can correct me on that one. The reason I'm saying 10 by 10 is because, of course, the gaps between the map, the map edges and the edges of the playable area are so large. But yeah, let's start introducing our players. So, on team 1, in the green corner, starting from west and going to east slowly but surely. First of all, is going to be Maximus Triple X at 1600 rank points, playing Seraphim in, what is this color? I think this is emerald green is what I call that one. Or maybe venomous green. Yeah, I've got the brighter green colors I call emerald green or venomous green, but I have no idea what this one is. I think it's venomous. Yeah, okay, let's go venomous green. Playing Seraphim and going first land. Let's not dwell too hard on that. Second up is going to be Hachi, who we've just seen in another match, but I promise this one is a little bit different. Or should be a little bit different. Playing UEF at 1500 rank points, wearing Shrinking Violet and going first land also. In the back, it's going to be Furfur. What a wonderful name as well. Playing at 1400 rank points, playing Cybran in Life Given Yellow, going first land. The other one in the back, the 2 bros in the back, of course, both of them had to pick Cybran as well, is going to be JCD at 1500 rank points, playing Cybran like I already said, going first land in Taiga Green. The one on the far east, on the far eastern side, is going to be Gumbo at 1700 rank points, playing Seraphim and Thalassophobia Blue, also going first land just as everybody else. And last but not least for this team, we've got ourselves BRNKoINSANITY. That is right, this game actually features BRNKoINSANITY. I'm pretty sure this is the real guy, one of the older casters as well as players, very famous players for Supreme Commander, who spent a lot of years streaming, casting, and doing all kinds of other wonderful things with this game, playing UEF at 1400 rank points in Rusty Railing Orange, going first to land. On the opposite side of the world, let me cough real quick so I stop coughing later. Sorry about that. In the red corner, starting from the east going west. Why do I keep confusing these two? I have no idea. First and foremost is going to be Regal Eagle at 1400 rank points, playing Cybran in... What did I call this color again? Oh, that's right. Power play purple, going first land. His teammate right next to him is going to be yet another Cybran by the name of Eyes. At 1700 rank points, playing in flamboyant pink and also going first land. The ones in the back are going to be Isma, what is this? Isma 98, sorry about that. Playing UEF at 1200 rank points in wet concrete gray, going first land, second air. And the other bro in the back for this team is going to be yet another Cybran. Oh my god, why are there so many Cybrans? This is going to be MSG. Playing at 1600 rank points, wearing Cornate red and also going first land and what looks like second air as well, I would imagine. The furthest one to the west is yet another Cybran. Oh my god, why is everything Cybran today? This one is known as Ermin the Ritter. I'm pretty sure he's appeared in my cast before. This one is playing at 1500 rank points, wearing Road Rage red and going first land. At least it's accurate because all the Cybrans are red and orange and yellow. Anyway, last but not least for this match and for this team in particular is going to be Kaiser Wilhelm I at 1600 rank points, playing UEF in color confusion cyan and going first land. Alright, with all the introductions out of the way, we definitely should speed the game up now. See what everybody else is doing. Okay, I feel like I probably need to reduce the volume of my background music. I apologize profusely. Let us continue. Everybody is of course sending out engineers. There is tons of reclaim, not just on the plateaus but everywhere else. This is actually mostly trees, it looks like. There is a couple big rocks scattered about every which way, but these are very few and far between, and it's mostly just trees. You should definitely airdrop on the plateaus, of course. Some players, I'm pretty sure some players, yeah, okay. Some players already made references to that. They want to airdrop on these plateaus. They know how valuable those are with all the reclaim and the extractor points, so you can definitely expect somebody to drop on there in the near future. We'll see exactly who it's gonna be. Meanwhile, all of the commanders of Team 1 are going to the front line, even the likes of JCD as well as Furfur. On the opposing side, though, we've got a straggler, Isma, who is staying behind and helping with the commander, helping build a transport as fast as possible. Let's see if he is indeed the fastest transport in the west. It looks like he is. Yeah, there's nobody else who's even flying out with the transport right now. Okay, finally Furfur is going out as well. Of course, they aren't going to be competing. They're going to different plateaus. So they should not have too many problems setting up, especially if they spread out their engineers like that. Yeah, you can see immediately some of the engineers are dropped on one edge of the plateau and the others on a different one, and immediately start work on a factory. Actually, they start with a factory. This is probably a good idea because the plateau is relatively large. So a factory would help cover it as fast as possible, or at least speed it up greatly. On the opposing side, though, we've got just all 5 engineers constructing 2 factories at once to ensure that nobody can contest, because there's just going to be way too many armed units. We've already got our first raids, a mass extractor on the front line, which was already being... Okay, it wasn't being upgraded to T2, it's just... This guy's got a script to make every extractor queue up and upgrade and then pause. Yeah, a couple strikers run in, but thumbs, but are repelled by the opposing assault pods, interestingly enough. More land clashes happening between commanders now as well. Commanders shooting at each other, destroying a few tanks here and there. Nothing too big of a deal yet. T2 already going out once again at 5 minutes by Brink. Meanwhile, on the opposing side, Gun going up for Regal Eagle, so going to be an interesting T2 versus Gun clash. On the very eastern edge of the map, Gombo is also going T2, so we've got lots of T2s, but not too many guns and no upgrades on the western side as the commanders just straight up decide to push in. Let's see how that turns out for them. You can see, yeah, there are 3 commanders for Team 1 here and only 2 commanders for Team 2. They decide, they're communicating in chat. They decided to push their numbers advantage here as they are chasing away the opposing commanders. We've got a transport flying out for Furfur as well. I'm not entirely sure what this one's supposed to accomplish. It's just a T1 transport. It cannot pick up a commander. It's just, yeah, flies away very wisely. The commanders are also supported by a bunch of spam, but it's not like this spam is going to last forever, especially if the opposing commanders target the spam first. But you know, they have to make a bit of a choice here. They have to either destroy the spam and lose a bunch of health in the process, and have a health disadvantage against the opposing commanders, or they have to focus the opposing commanders, and then the spam will have an easy time blasting them. Gun immediately going up for Kaiser. As soon as he retreats to what he thinks is a safe distance, he immediately goes up for a gun, goes for a gun. If the opposing commanders realize that they can push in, but it's a little bit too late now, and only 5 seconds left on the clock for the upgrade, it's not going to go too well. A 3rd commander joins the Team 2's efforts here with Ermin, so now we've got a 3v3 situation, and the Team 2's commanders are better equipped, so Team 1 of course immediately retreats. Well done by them. Okay, I need to... Yep, there you go. Gun damage and range going up for Isma as well. He's now joined on the front line. Eyes... I don't know if I called it... Oh, okay, Eyes also went for the gun, so we've got 2 guns, 3 guns versus multiple T2s and 1 gun on the eastern flank. It is very interesting indeed. Oh, somebody pinging the opposing commander. Ooh, Maximus is being caught here by Kaiser. He does need the support of his own commanders if he is to escape. Of course, you know, 3 commanders are more than a matchup for a single gun column, even if they aren't upgraded, but it looks like the plan was just to chase them off and kill a couple more units to gain some free experience for the commander of Kaiser. He's using overcharge on these tanks as well, completely vaporizing them. If he can destroy this radar, yep, there you go. A value target that radar is. Alright, so now we're about to see how exactly all these T2s fare against guns. We've got, yeah, 1, 2, like I said, 1, 2, 3 guns for Team 2 and only 1 gun for Team 1. Ooh, a lot of damage going into JCD. It looks like they are trying to focus JCD down with their 2 guns. Oh, this is not good. If he blows up, then most likely Brink is going to go as well. He doesn't have himself a gun as well. He's trying to protect JCD with his body, but it doesn't work. He is now completely out of it. The 3rd commander needs to join desperately before Eyes dies though, because it looks like Brink is going for a suicide charge in order to destroy Eyes. I'm not entirely sure if it's entirely warranted though. Yep, there you go. And both Eyes and Brink blow up in unison. Oh my goodness me, we've already got, yep, 9 minutes into the game, already 3 players have died. Amazing. Isma is heavily damaged, well, just went above 2000 health. And together with Regal Eagle, they now retreat. They need to lick their wounds before they can do anything further. It looks like, meanwhile, Gumbo was trying to push on the east as well, on the far east. And he has built up some turrets right in the face of the enemy spam. This is going to be a huge problem unless it's dealt with right now, because he can just keep PD creeping here, and there is no answer from Team 2, on that flank at least so far. All of the commanders of Team 1 are now going for guns on the western flank. Meanwhile, the Team 2's commanders are helping each other upgrade as well. T2 going up for Kaiser in addition to his gun. Meanwhile, Ermin is fully decked out with even a stealth. No upgrades for MSG so far though. Looks like he just wants to chill and invest into something else, probably air, I would imagine. Yep, already almost got, yeah, halfway done with the T3 power generator. This is super fast air as far as I'm aware, at least 10 minutes in on a random map. This is a Mapgen, need I remind you, and he's already almost done with the T3 power generator. My god, these guys are dedicated. I mean, he's not even helping, yeah, wasn't even helping his teammates, like, upgrade themselves, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but still, that was super fast. How many mass extractors is he working with, I wonder? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that it? Just, oh, 7, right? Yeah, I think that's just 7, which is almost like dual gap, really. It's like on dual gap you start with 8. and it seems to be more than enough mass to propel him into very fast T3 air, but yeah, well, at least for me. Oh, StormLantern, hello! It's not that fast, but considering he has this few mixes, it's okay. Hello. I do believe I just finished casting a game with you, featuring you. It was, well, it was like an hour ago at this point, but yes, I sure did. Unfortunately, that game ended with one team rage quitting, but was really fun to watch anyway. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Alright, so we've got 3 commanders from Team 1 pushing on the western side. Meanwhile, Hachi has been upgraded with not only gun but also nano, so it's a very combat-oriented commander in comparison to Kaiser, for example. He's going with T2. Unfortunately, though, he's the sole upgraded commander on this team, as the other one is just gun. I don't know. I thought there were like 3 of them, but one of them has just disappeared. Oh, okay, so Maximus has gone off to the far west in order to push from the side, I'm imagining, before the opposing commander can arrive and intercept. The push peters out. There is now a reclaim field left for Team 1 to gather. A little bit unfortunate. MSG walking with his commander, attempting some cheeky reclaim in the process. What a scout drops out of the sky right above us. Right on top of him, I should say, basically. T3 land, of course, also being done now for Gumbo. Wait, what? Okay, oh yeah, Gumbo has Titans because he inherited both the bases of Brink as well as JCD, so Gumbo working with 3 bases is going to be sitting on tons of resources. You can already see if we switch to mass per second, he is so far away from everybody else it's not even funny, but at the same time, you know, he also has to manage all these bases and and also spend more resources as well, because all these factories need to be producing. Titans are not in the best of positions right now, facing a gun com. I'm sure he's going to overcharge them and kill them. Ooh! Spicy overcharge, takes 2 Titans with 1 shot. Very nicely done. Shield now going up for Hachi as well. He realizes his commander is still inadequate for what it's supposed to be doing, which is defending the front line. So he goes for shield as well. It's going to be basically a fully decked out UEF Rambo com. In the meantime, Gumbo is just standing there, not doing anything. I'm guessing, yeah, he's probably just managing all these factories. He's got himself T3 Seraphim land and also T3 UEF land, so that is a lot of mass you're consuming, and also T3 air as well. This guy is just going to be doing everything for quite a while now. Unfortunately, it looks like he's about to take a major blow on the eastern side, as Regal Eagle is pushing with an unfathomable amount of T1 spam. I'm guessing he's just trying to get all of them killed so he can all reclaim them while simultaneously doing something useful with them, as opposed to just control K-ing them, because honestly, what is he gonna do with them? Very soon it's gonna be nothing left of them, because there will be Titans and Percials and Othum tanks everywhere. But yes, he is pushing, he is destroying this frontal fire base, so-called fire base of Gumbo. Yes, you need to call this a fire base with a little bit of a grain of salt, because there's just a couple of Toshalas here, but no actual shields or TMDs or anything of that nature. However, Othum tanks are now rolling out, as well as snipers, and those could put some serious hamper on his plans. Meanwhile, Kaiser just controlled... okay, I missed a death, no big deal. Hachi has cancelled his shield apparently, which I did not notice, but it resulted in the death of Kaiser. I'm guessing what happened was just a bunch of Titans ran in and Kaiser was completely unprepared, so goodbye Kaiser. The game has now evened out, it's 4v4. And the Titans are still pushing, though. They probably should not be doing that. It's just free mass for the opponent. It looks like, the assault by Regal Eagle has actually been repelled, which is relatively surprising because, you know, he didn't just have gun, he also had stealth. I guess maybe he didn't have enough energy to kill all these T3 units fast enough. Although, the main reason was probably snipers. Snipers are really scary when you've got a gun com, because they just outrange you, they're completely superior. You did have stealth though, but still, I guess for such a high level game, it's no problem to reveal a stealth commander with just a bunch of scouts. Or even T3 spy planes at this point in the game. I'm assuming correctly that Furfur is also making T3 here, of course. Probably could use a few more power generators, but I'm guessing he's sapping power from Gumbo as well. who's probably got a fair chunk of it as well. If we see here, yeah, no problem with energy whatsoever. Meanwhile, we've got, yes, of course, air production out from both MSG as well as ISMA. As expected, MSG is going a little bit harder in terms of air production, probably because has a much better mass income as well. But he is also working with an entire base he inherited from the late Kaiser, so kind of makes sense. Exciting game so far, can't even take a breather to drink water or anything. I should probably drink water, but you know. For now, let's just see if we can find something cool to watch while I do that. Alright, we've got a clash on the front line once again between Maximus and Ermin. This time it looks like there are not very many T3 units in the mix for either player. So this could, in theory, just be another stalemate, but whoever claims the reclaim field out of these is going to be in a bit of a better position somewhere later down the road. Okay, oh. Haha, Ooh. Alright, we've got fighters flying out from both, who's this again? ISMA as well as MSG, of course. Naturally, also some fighters, oh yeah, these are also from ISMA. Broadswords coming in to try and assassinate Maximus, but he just gains veterancy. Now the opposing fighters fly in, completely vaporize those broadswords. Okay, well, not vaporize, but, you know, destroy them extremely quickly. However, Maximus is still surrounded by the land units now, which is a big problem. The air fight, of course, keeps happening here. We've got Gumbo as well on the case. Ooh, okay, down goes Mr. Maximus, so saving Private Maximus mission is a failure. Meanwhile, though, it looks like Team 2 has one air. Yeah, they have one air. Okay, there's no just fighters, just Gumbo and nobody else's fighters, no. Or at least not a significant amount, but Maximus's life has been tragically cut short here, so, yeah. I guess the fighters kind of still failed. And also you might want to build in an air staging facility, because these are all damaged now by the explosion. Unless they get destroyed by the explosion. Oh, never mind. That's right. When fighters get hit by a comm explosion, they're just destroyed because it's too much damage. I should have realized that. Got some Mongeese out from Hachi, interestingly enough. At this point, I would have expected him to run Titans, but those Titans were actually out from Gombo, who was using, I think it was Brink's base before. Yeah, this was Brink. So Hachi does not possess his own Titans so far, at least not as far as we can tell. He is building some Othumes though from Maximus's base now, but not from his own. Also a power generator. Do you really need that though? I feel like he can just live off of overflow, but it looks like, you know what? I don't think one more generator will be that big of a problem. Also snipers, yeah, he's building snipers as well. Not the best position for T1 units to be right in the... for snipers to run into T1 units directly, but there are too few of them to matter. Okay, these should definitely not be going forward though. This makes no sense. On the eastern side, we've got artillery. Yep, T3 mobile artillery out now for Gumbo, and it looks like most of the spam out from Regal Eagle has been chased off, but it might be because Gumbo is actually pushing through the middle of the map where Regal Eagle seemingly didn't notice, or at least it could have been a probing attack, you know, trying to find weaknesses in enemy defenses, and it looks like this is not a weakness because loyalists are way too fast and will catch up to any intruders way too quickly. However, loyalists of course cannot stun Othumes, so that's a bit of a downside, and they are, you know, relatively weak in general, but semi-loyalists against just one Othume is not a favorable matchup for this Seraphim tank. Let me tell you that. T3 artillery could be a very serious argument though for Gumbo to go a little bit more aggressive. Although it's probably the best course of action for him is probably to have the artillery hit, destroy a couple loyalists before he pushes. But not quite happening for now, although he's gathering quite a formidable force of Titans and Othumes, so the artillery might not even be needed at the end of the day. We'll see what happens. I don't think there are any experimentals so far. Furfur is working on a laser though, interestingly enough, but yeah, I don't see any experimentals as of yet, so that's okay. The plateaus weren't contested, as far as I'm aware, the plateaus weren't contested at all throughout the game. They never changed hands, so I guess this is because of the way they're positioned. Like, if you are Team 1 and you take this plateau, and you can just freely bombard Team 2's like main bases, it's a really bad thing. It would be a really bad thing for Team 2, so they would do everything in their power to stop it, so it makes sense that it wasn't actually happening. Alright, it looks like the air forces are being rebuilt. If we check out the number of air units, we can see that Team 1 is still very much ahead, but slowly but surely this difference will disappear, I'm sure. Okay, I have no idea what this is all about. This is just a couple of renegade gunships just being sent, I guess, as a probing attack once again, but they fly directly into a cloud of opposing fighters, so this doesn't work at all. Maybe they were a distraction in order for the scouts to fly through. That could be, that is very much a valid play. And it looks like, once again, the land force of Regal Eagle is forced to retreat as they are pushed back by Titans and Othums. However, I don't think snipers really belong in this mix, because yeah, sure, they are shielded, but snipers really don't like being focused by so many enemies. And at this point, there are now bricks rolling out, and bricks will put a stop to all of this nonsense. The only way Gumbo can stop those bricks now is with Percivals, and currently he's got no Percivals. I mean, of course, you can kite bricks with snipers, of course, but you need a critical mass of snipers for that. And if you've got critical mass of snipers, they could as well just be blown away by a couple T2 bombers, which is a lot more than T2 bombers honestly deserve, or a lot more than T2 bombers should accomplish. Laser still going up for Furfur, meanwhile Shield Field is going up for Hachi as well, going for a Super Rambo Com, the next stage of evolution. Still not entirely sure about that one, because it's a UEF commander, so it's not like it's got like good firepower or anything. It's just gonna be firing those overchargers and every now and then. Scout TMDs. I guess he wants to destroy the TMDs, or well, Kaiser is dead. I mean, he wants somebody to destroy TMDs and then blast them with missiles. Who's got the missiles though? I'm assuming it's going to be Regal Eagle, but I can't see them as of right now. Yeah, see, this is why the old icons mod was really handy, because you could actually see the missiles immediately, but it looks like he hasn't got any actual missile launchers, only missile defense, which is fine. At least missile defense definitely should be a thing. I would like to see somebody defending some missile defense in here as well, though, because it's very clearly needed. But it looks like it's completely out of reach of everything, so never mind. Just Total Annihilation is being built on top of each other, completely just stacked on top of each other like that, because he is so afraid of that push that happened before. A very brilliant spread move being done here by Isma, so he's got some air micro in him. It's probably a command though, it's probably like it has a UI mod installed which allows for a spread move like that, but still, I don't have that mod. I would love to use that someday, but not entirely sure when that's going to occur. MSG is actually positive on mass, despite, using so many engineers, T3 engineers, to build a fat boy. Very commendable indeed. And he's also, of course, keeping up the air grid in a very great fashion. He's almost caught up. He's almost caught up to Team 1, or Team 2 has almost caught up to Team 1. Of course, it shouldn't exactly discount the efforts of Isma as well. Isma is still, of course, building all of these. Oh, that's the missile launcher. I see. It's already destroyed one mass extractor. About to destroy another. Yep, there you go. So it is doing its job. It's got a bit of a limited range, or at least its position. It will most likely soon start flying through. The missiles will most likely start flying through TMD very soon. But it's He's doing his job for now. 1800 mass skill already, very nice. Somebody's asking to scout for experimentals. I'm actually interested to look at experimentals myself, of course. We've got a megalith being prepared by Ermin very early in development, I'd say. No experimentals for Isma so far. I guess it kind of makes sense. We'll see though. It's got a T1 mass extractor still, though it's in its cap to must have been destroyed or something. Sorry. Sorry, I sneezed. A megalith almost done, meanwhile, for Eagle, which makes sense because he's working with more resources. Actually, no, never mind. He's just doing less, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, yes, megalith done now. Fat boy being constructed by Gumbo, but extremely slowly. That basically, we can just say that it's not actually being built. Cybran, nothing. Seraphim, also nothing, just a large army of T3 units. And meanwhile, Hachi is not making anything of the sort either. Still standing, risking his commander's life. Like that. But, yeah. Oh, a quantum gateway being done by Furfur is, as wait, he is gonna start producing a support commanders with Ras at a very rapid pace, expanding his economy greatly, because he kind of does need it, you know. Once again, limited to 7 mixes. I'm pretty sure it's 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there must be some more of them in here somewhere. I don't know, it's hard to see. Alright, Fat Boy done for MSG, Megalith done for Ermin, so I guess he sped up that Megalith relatively quickly, or maybe it was just the fact that he built a whole bunch of hives right next to it. This is like a Megalith production facility here with all these hives. Sorry. The megalith is going to be very slowly lumbering towards the front line, accompanied by the Fat Boy. Meanwhile, Hachi is still standing there, not really showing any signs of any advanced 4D chess plans. Seraphim factories are still working, producing snipers and whatnot. Finally, he's starting out a Ythotha, building it with UEF drones, interestingly enough. I would love to see how exactly UEF drones can build alien tech like Ythotha, but, you know, I'm kind of glad it's a feature because, you know, would have been really awkward if you just, you know, UEF and Cybran engineers were never allowed to assist Seraphim tech. Would have made for some really awkward team play. Let's just say that. The forces of Gumbo are being pulled back for whatever reason. I'm guessing it's, oh yeah, it's because there is a megalith walking up right up to them and they have seen it. And also there is no T3 artillery out from MSG, Regal Eagle as well. Lots of bricks and also bouncers, more than a match for the land force of Gumbo, or ground force I should say. A lonely Percival does get cut out by the megalith and completely annihilated. There is a SAM launcher, now that would be a big kill for the megalith. It's destroyed a bunch of stuff already as well. Yep, that is the downside to the megalith. You can usually just run away from it. Alright, well this is bad. There is a whole bunch of like high value T3 units here who could very easily get destroyed by the megalith. You should probably pull those back as well. Unless you've got like a Fat Boy of your own, but then again the Fat Boy should also be pulled back if it was there. The commander is in a bit of a bad position here, I'd say, for Hachi. But I'm sure by the time the megalith and the Fat Boy reach him, they will probably be stopped by something. They will come up with a plan. Gumbo is now building a Ythotha as well. Already done with a Fat Boy, so a Fat Boy is a good counter to the megalith because the Fat Boy has longer range. The Fat Boy has longer range than pretty much anything that the Regal Eagle currently possesses, so it's an excellent little counter that came out just in the nick of time. The red Fat Boy out of MSG, of course, still blasting the incoming Titans. Yeah, he is sending Titans and Percivals in to kind of attempt to catch the Fat Boy out of position, I guess, but there is so much spam here that I don't think any of them will actually reach it. So good attempt, but no, they will definitely be completely stopped by the Percivals. Meanwhile, a huge clash of land units finally between Hachi as well as Ermin. The Megalith is retreating, so doesn't want to get damaged too heavily. It's already missing almost half of its health. I guess it just, yeah, they just tried to run in and destroy the Megalith, tried to rush it, but it didn't quite work because, you know, the Megalith has tons of health. It is capable of surviving this type of nonsense. Even if you think you can kill it, you just might just not have enough health. Sorry, damage. Alright, very nice, but now, yeah, there is a Ythotha, so the Megalith should actually keep backpedaling here. There is the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy can support the Megalith. It's now wiped out all of the Titans that were going for it, so overall the charge strategy by Hachi just failed spectacularly on all fronts, or on this one front, I guess, because it's just a really long front line. But yeah, the Megalith should be really careful because, you know, the Ythotha has some range as well, and it's much faster than a Megalith. At least it should be in theory. Ooh, what is that? What was that projectile right there? I think that was a flak cannon, but those are supposed to be shooting into the sky, not at the Megalith. I guess maybe it was just a visual illusion. I just tricked myself. Could have been the case. The Fat Boy is, of course, still blasting everything with impunity. Yeah, it probably should not allow it to do that. The Fat Boy is really easy to destroy with something like a bunch of Corsairs, for example. You know, Corsairs fly in, and as long as each of them drops its payload at least once, the Fat Boy will probably die from, like... I'm not sure about the exact numbers, of course. It could be like 30, it could be 40, I couldn't really tell you. But I've seen it be done a lot. The Ythotha is charging at 2 Megaliths and the Fat Boy. Okay, in this instance, the Ythotha is definitely overstepping its welcome. At T1 artillery, the Seraphim, or should I say T5 mobile artillery, because it's just how good it is, could be a good counter to the Megalith, because it's a lot of tiny units which are very hard to hit by the Megalith. Okay, that is definitely not the flak cannon that just shot there. I think there was a sniper, maybe. Yeah, because those travel really quickly. I guess they might have been sniper shots. Okay, so the damaged Megalith retreats, but the fresh Megalith is now taking its place and shooting snipers directly. Now that's probably something you don't want to see. And also the Ythotha destroying a whole bunch of friendly units is something you want to see even less, to be honest. Alright, so the Fat Boy out from... who's this? Gumbo? Yeah, the Fat Boy out from Gumbo is still also blasting with impunity, but the Megalith picked another target and is now destroying the fire base that Regal Eagle has failed to destroy the last time. What have we got in terms of our mass income? We've already got in the 600s with Gumbo, and also Regal Eagle not very far behind. MSG is a little bit further behind, but also I'm sure he's not suffering from it, at least not right now. Yeah, still positive on mass. Still got some in storage. Alright, another Ythotha charges into 2 Megaliths. This does not work. When will you realize it's not working? It needs to be at least 3 Ythothas, and a lot of them will die in the process, so it might not even be worth it that way. Gumbo has built yet another experimental. This time around it's probably going to be Ythotha, I'm going to guess. Oh no, it's another Fat Boy. Alright, cool. What about late game units? Is anybody planning anything spectacular? A Megalith out of Furfur, though I think I saw it before. And I hovered my camera over it. Another Megalith out from Ermin. He's just going to be producing Megaliths for the rest of the game, I guess. I don't even think he has a Quantum Gateway. Probably should do one at this point. He does have a nuke defense, though. A very wise choice. Is it even charged, though? No, not yet. I mean loaded. Not loaded yet. A Novak satellite going up for Isma. Now, these things can be quite nasty. If you spam a couple of them, and then you send them against your enemy's important targets like air grid, it is going to be something. It could very easily destroy the opposing air grid, and then you're going to be in a massive trouble. 2 Fat Boys now from MSG. Now that is a serious hail of fire. Even T3 the armored bots like Percival's cannot withstand such an intense barrage. Sorry about that. Some annoying ticks. Alright, so the Megalith, the Megalith is a 4-star veteran now, and now with the third Megalith showing up, I don't think anything can destroy it anymore. Yeah, 3 Megaliths and 2 Fat Boys. This is a serious armored fist that could, I feel like if they started pushing forward now, they would just completely steamroll everything here. Like, sure, there is 1 Megalith, but it's just 1. It's not gonna be enough. Oh, Regal Eagle is now pushing with everything he's got, but already loses 1 Megalith to these 2 Fat Boys. The Fat Boys are still nowhere near the front line. They could still run away very easily. The Thotha 4 Gumbo does get destroyed here. It's going to hit a couple more bricks and get those as well. But it's also going to destroy a bunch of friendly units. So yeah, and the second Megalith is directly firing upon the Fat Boy now. But can it finish it off before it gets destroyed in turn is the question. No, it can't. Ooh, that was really close. Just 3,000 health left on the Fat Boy. Bit of a shame. I kind of would have liked it destroyed because it was so close to being destroyed. But the much bigger problem is currently occurring on the western side, as the 3 Megaliths show no signs of stopping whatsoever. This is a... what is this? Oh, it's a Rambo. Okay, it's a Cybran Rambo com. From what I remember, I think Cybran Rambo coms are some of the worst because they don't have that much DPS, and also they don't really have a big health increase. They only have a nano system. Ooh, down goes Hachi. And at this point, I'm not entirely sure what Team 1 can even do. They've got 2 commanders left. They've got Gumbo as well as Furfur. Furfur does have Cloak, though. That is something to keep in mind. This guy does have Cloak. So, in theory, he could run up to those Megaliths and just destroy them without them actually seeing him. Okay, 1 Megalith finally goes down, but still there are 2 Megaliths and 2 Fat Boys. And a 3rd Megalith on the way as well, my god. This is ridiculous. So the damaged Fat Boy of Gumbo is now almost fully regenerated. There is a Euthiltha coming in. There are 2 Megaliths for just 1. Yeah, just 1 Megalith for Regal Eagle. Let's see if that actually works out. Oh my goodness me, here we go. There, there you go. The Cloak and Laser commander of... who's this? Furfur. Yeah, Furfur just runs in and casually just 1v2s 2 Megaliths, like I said before. Oh, look at this. The Megalith, the health on the Megalith just evaporates. Of course, you know, the Megalith can technically target the ground where the commander is standing and do some horrific damage to it, as you can see right now. It is, yeah, it is doing some serious damage. It is just, ow, 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 ow. 5,000 health left over, a couple more hits from the Megalith, and the commander is dead, but it does manage to finish off the opposing Megalith right before it is destroyed in turn. 3-star veterans is still, and it's, yeah, the commander is just brilliantly working here on the front line. Culvertop style, just casually walking in, destroying 2 Megaliths just like that. Even though Herman was paying attention and was intentionally trying to destroy the commander, it still didn't work. And here come the Corsairs, like I explained before. A bunch of Corsairs can destroy pretty much any land unit. It could be a Megalith, it could be a Fat Boy. It could even be your commander, especially, you know, if they are being sent forward. Kill the fatties, Regal Eagle says. Well, yeah, you should kill the fatties, but then Gumbo just control K's out of the... Oh my god, it was a telemazer! It was a telemazer out of MSG, so... Overall, excellent usage of laser in this game. MSG just teleporting in, destroying the commander of Gumbo, making sure there is only 1 commander left alive for Team 1. And now this commander is about to get crushed by the Megalith. There you go. The final 4th Megalith, out from Herman, finally managed to destroy the opposing commander. And this is how the replay ends. Mwah, bellissimo. I really enjoyed this one. This one was amazing. Telemazer, Cloak Mazer, destroying 2 Megaliths. All the epic action before, like there was a triple kill here as well. Three commanders got killed in this location. Yeah, overall an amazing replay, super fun. I'll paste the link to this replay in the chat right now as well, because this one is awesome. If I can find my freaking stream, there you go. What an amazing replay. Okay, I need to take a few minutes of a break here again, so don't go anywhere. I will be with you shortly. Just get some tea, get some snacks. We'll watch the final replay, which is like about, it should be like around an hour, I think. It's also promising, it's looking to be very exciting, at least from what I've seen of it, so yeah. If it's your first time here, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy and want to see more. Also like the video if you enjoy what you're seeing, once again. Keep repeating myself like that, not great. And yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see some more of something, or less of something, or if I should fix something, do let me know. Alright, be with you in a couple of minutes. Well, that break took a lot longer than expected. Terribly sorry about that. Had to make multiple phone calls, unfortunately. As per usual, at the worst possible time. Oh well, that's just life, isn't it? Anyway, let us continue. Music's almost over, I should probably restart it now. Okay, what? There you go. Rolled it over way back, but it refused. You restarted from the middle somewhere. Alright. Wait, what? Oh. I didn't even close the game yet. There you go. Alright, well, let's start the other replay. The cool one. I mean, they're all cool, but this one should be especially cool. It's 1 hour long, and there's tons of players, again, and it's also got Navy and everything. Should be very exciting indeed. Let's go and see. I watched it before, but I didn't pay too much attention. Mostly what I did was watch for desyncs. And that's basically it. I discovered that you need to periodically glance at the screen in order to detect if, if the desync happens right before the game ends, or if it happens like somewhere in the middle. Because if it's in the middle, then watching is pointless. But if it's not, if it's right at the end, if it desyncs right at the end, then the desync doesn't really matter, and the game is still valid. Anyway, if you see any bugs with this map, please tell Cookie Noob thanks. This map is called Adaptive Turtle Beach. It's an actual 20 by 20 map, finally. And there is this very scenic island in the middle. And also a whole bunch of smaller islands scattered all over the place. The main points of interest are those little spots like this one, because these cannot be accessed by land or sea. You can only access them by air, which makes them a little bit hard to reach, but hopefully it should not be too much of a problem. Can't see the reclaim because the advanced reclaim view mod is not working, it's just broken. Sorry about that. Anyway, we've got this is a 6 versus 6 map and game. So plenty of players for us to observe, plenty of things for them to accomplish. We shall see who comes out on top. Let us start introducing our players from Team 1 in the yellow corner, starting from the middle, the causeway position, so to speak, if we are to draw some sudden clutch analogies. This one is going to be TJ Coops at 12,100 rank points, 12,000 what? Playing Seraphim in life-given yellow going first land. Right behind him in the wings is going to be... what? Yerfmeister, I guess that's how you're supposed to be pronouncing that, I don't know. At 1500 rank points, playing Aeon in, what is this color? I think this is supposed to be Venomous Green. I'm pretty sure this is it. Or something along those lines, anyway. Yes, so, going first land. To the northern side of this player is going to be a Navy player, at least prospectively. Very easy to access the water, very easy to build some ships. This is going to be Supreme AJ, what a cool name as well. At 1300 rank points, playing Cybran in flamboyant pink going first land. To the south of this position. Oh, you know what this is? This is lime green. Sorry, yeah, this is lime green. It's not venomous green, this is lime green. There you go. Remembered now. Anyway, yes, to the south, the southern Navy player, so to speak, is going to be Jim Jack J. At 900 rank points, one of the lower ranked players in this match, though not the lowest. Playing Cybran in Coordinate Red going first land. So both of our side players for this team are going to be Cybran. In the back of the main island, we are finding the actual lowest rated player in this game is going to be P.I. Guy. At 700 rank points, playing UEF. In Thalassophobia Blue going first land, and oh my god, I need to sneeze. General Kenobi, by the way. Foodman Steve, welcome. Hey, glad to have you here. Yeah, we've already done 3 casts. This is the last one for the day, though this is going to be the longest, at least I think so. Should be a relatively exciting game, because, you know, lots of players, lots of time for them to make great plays, so we shall see. And last but not least, for this team is going to be Adeptus Astartes. What an amazing name. Greatly appreciate all these Warhammer 40k references. This is, yes, going to be playing Cybran and Emerald Green, going first air. This is going to be our dedicated air player at 1400 rank points. Moving on to Team 2 in the purple corner, starting once again from the middle. It is none other than Emperor Karl Franz. Yet another Warhammer reference, though this time this is to Fantasy Warhammer, not 40k. Playing UEF at 1200 rank points in Tiger Green, going first land. On in the wings, the wingman in this instance is going to be the most wonderful name of the day, arguably Banana Smoothie. Playing Seraphim at 1400 rank points, wearing Color Confusion Cyan, which is a little bit of a wacky color for a banana smoothie, but I don't know, maybe they added some peppermint or something. Going first land, and then second air, and also walking towards the middle with the commander. On the southern flanks, the Southern Navy player is going to be actually an Aeon player. This time it is Lightbringer. This must be a Warcraft reference then. At 800 rank points, so once again on the lower end, but don't let that discourage you. Never let that discourage you. Yes, anyway, playing Aeon in Road Rage Red, going first land. The other flank, the other Navy, is once again Aeon, so we've got two Cybrans on the flanks versus 2 Aeons on the sides. This one is going to be Kalyub or something. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. Kalyub. Yes, playing at 1100 rank points, going first land in Shrinking Violet. In the back of the island for this team, we find ourselves Arrows, another Aeon player. God, this team is almost, yeah, half of this team is Aeon. Incredible. That's, I haven't seen that in a long time. Yes, at 1000 rank points in Blues Blue, going first air. So yeah, so this is like the second player in this game who's going first air. And last but not least, for this smash and this team in particular, for this team, we've got Totally Not a Robot. At 1500 rank points, playing Cybran in Fresh and Fragrant Orange, going first land, and no doubt second air very soon as well. So how are you doing today, Foodman Steve? I hope your day has been well, because, you know, it should be pretty late for you as well, like 8 PM or something, so... or maybe even almost 9. So I hope your day went well, and you had a relaxing, because it's a Saturday, right? It's supposed to be Saturday today, so hope you had a relaxing Saturday. Let's speed the game up because I forgot already. Not a great start, but I'm sure we'll deal with it. Very scenic map as well, of course. There is still nothing under the sea, it's just a completely barren sea floor. And still, you've got some shallow areas, you've got some deep areas where commanders might be able to hide. Also, the sea has very low resolution for some reason, or is it just me? 20 by 20 maps, so the players will take a while to reach anywhere, which is why I am speeding the game up. You can see basically a mirror situation in the middle with Emperor Karl Franz as well as TJ Coops being the first on the case, immediately starting reclaim of some wreckages that can be found nearby. Karl Franz is also trying to destroy those wreckages using... never mind, he's just trying to destroy the commander, which won't work, but still some nice damage could be dealt. Yes, the wreckage, of course, they are going for... actually, Emperor is going for smaller ships first, while TJ is going immediately for this gigantic destroyer. Already reclaimed it, but I'm sure he might have overflowed some mass. Yep, he's actually sending mass to his teammates, which could mess up their builds as well, so it's a suboptimal thing to do, but because, you know, if you overflow mass, you stop reclaiming trees, which could mean you will energy stall, depending on your starting build, so it's generally not a very good idea, from my understanding, to send mass to the teammates, even on maps like Setons. It's much better if you can absorb all that mass for yourself and just straight up not send it to anybody, so that is the most efficient way at the very least. Oh my god, my nose is getting blocked. I have no idea what's happening or why. Interestingly though, Kaliub is also here, right next to Emperor, as well as Banana Smoothie. While on the other side, it's just Yerfmeister who has arrived here. No other extra players can be spotted. However, he is already going for a gun upgrade. In fact, he's finished his second gun upgrade and now he's a real menace against those commanders who are not upgraded at all. It was a super fast gun, to be honest, although we have started at like 4:30 or something like that. Super early, super quick, and now the opposing commanders could be in some serious trouble because they've got nothing of the sort. Now Emperor Karl Franz is going for his own gun, but it could be a bit of trouble because he is already under fire. If Yerfmeister realizes what's happening, he can just bombard Emperor non-stop with a whole bunch of fire, which the Emperor will have major trouble avoiding. Looks like it's not the case, so he just chooses to retreat and stand there menacingly. Transports, of course, already flying out every which way, occupying every one of these smaller islands. Once again, I need to remind you that these cannot be accessed by land, only by sea, or if you edge build, but it's a little bit hard to edge build because they're so far away. Okay, the engineer successfully what? The engineer... why is it not dropping? What? Yep, straight up just refuses to drop the engineer and then gets shot down by the entire turret. How unfortunate. The closer island to Team 2's bases is still not occupied for some reason. I'm sure they will deal with it eventually, but it's a bit of an oversight. Meanwhile, though, all the islands on the northern side have been occupied by Supreme AJ, so Team 2 has got none of these. A red commander in the middle. Oh yeah, so there's 4 commanders in the middle for Team 2. At least there have been initially. I think one of them retreated. Yeah, Banana Smoothie just retreats. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard for them though, because not only are they being bombarded by attack bombers out from TJ Coops. I don't think that's gonna work, but anyway, it is going to do a lot of damage, that's for sure. By it's not gonna work, I mean it's not gonna kill them, but yes, TJ has got himself T2 as well. He's already PD creeping, being protected by Yerfmeister, so these guys are in some serious trouble. Yes, Emperor doesn't have himself a gun, but the whatever advantage he did get from gun could be very easily negated if there are a couple T2 turrets built, which there now are. Oh my goodness me, would you look at that? We've got ghetto gunships on the case. It's not gonna work too well. Yep. How unfortunate. It didn't work because there were way too many enemy interceptors in the area. They just shot down all the ghetto gunships, but it was a very valiant effort. It did not work out, but it did force a cancel. He had to cancel his T2. Yeah, Karl Franz did. Had to cancel it, and now he's wasted a whole bunch of resources, so it's a little bit of a win. Not a very big one, but a win nonetheless. There is another transport going out, and this time this one is actually going to land on this island, which is super close to Team 2's base, so this could eventually present some serious trouble in the future for Team 2, because, well, for example, they could build like a missile launcher here and then bombard the main base of Lightbringer with the, you know, TMLs. Could be extremely nasty. We'll see exactly what happens though. It's not... all we can do is speculate for now. Even I, who watched this replay before, like I said before, I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. I was only watching, briefly glancing at it for desyncs, and that was it. 3 naval factories already being constructed by Jim Jack J. Another one in the backyard as well. For Team 2, meanwhile, I don't see nearly as many. There are 3 in total for Banana Smoothie, but they're all scattered about. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's like barely anything. Yeah, there is 3 in the backyard, but they are producing at a relatively slower pace, I want to say. T2 going up for Lightbringer. Meanwhile, though, what should be noted though is the fact that while Banana Smoothie is going for Navy, his direct opponent, Yerfmeister, is not. So we're going to have a bit of a naval imbalance very soon here, because simply put, there are more Team 2 players who are going for Navy in comparison to Team 1. I don't know, maybe eventually Pi Guy, for example, could go for Navy as well. No, wait, what? Okay, he's going T3 on his commander. What is that all about? Is he gonna airdrop? He's got a T2 transport. Is he gonna airdrop his commander? Because that's crazy. But he should definitely pay attention to that if he decides to actually go through with it. It's kind of extremely reckless, let's just say that. Attack bombers flying in from who's this again? Calyub, there you go, harassing the mass extractors of Supreme AJ. Namely, they are actually targeting a T2 mass extractor, which could be really nasty if it manages to. If one attack bomber manages to destroy this mech, it would be absolutely devastating and tragic even. But it looks like it's not quite picking its targets too well. A strategic bomber already coming out from Arrows. I gotta stop getting surprised by it, honestly. Destroys 2 mass extractors, oh my goodness me. And is going straight for the base of Pi Guy now, which is a major problem because Pi Guy does not have T3 yet. There is a fighter tailing this strategic bomber, so eventually it is shot down. Not too much damage done, but I'm sure I'm pretty sure Yerfmeister is quite salty about those mixes, to say the least. T2 Navy, meanwhile, happening for Supreme AJ. Namely, he is going for some Barracudas, as well as, of course, destroyers. It's interesting why he decided to go for a Barracuda in the first place, but I guess we'll find out eventually. Maybe it's going to be assigned some super secret stealth mission, you never know. Meanwhile, Jim Jack J working with a torpedo launcher on his commander now. Ooh, dangerous. Likes to live life dangerously. I don't think it's gonna work though, at least against this base, because there are already 2 T2 torpedo launchers here for Lightbringer, so it's a bit of a gamble. Ooh, Yerfmeister is actually going aggressive here against T1 and T2 spam from Emperor, doing some serious damage, putting some dents into this T1 and T2 army. He is being bombarded with a... No, it's not he who is being bombarded, it's actually the fire base that... Who's this? TJ, yeah, right. The fire base that TJ has constructed is now being bombarded by clink hammers out from Emperor. Not the most optimal lineup of artillery pieces that I can see, yeah. I think you were supposed to construct the second clink hammer where the TMD currently resides, so bit of a bummer. But at least you know, it's going to be a little bit hard to push, or very hard to push into those 3 triads as well as 2 clink hammers. I have offended your team in some manner, what? Huh? What is he talking about? Okay, I have no idea what AJ is talking about, but I do know that it's probably not the best idea for Calyub to send 1 destroyer against, well, a complete unsupported against all of this nonsense right here. Yeah, we've got destroyers for Supreme AJ himself, you've got Barracudas. I can see the Barracuda. Did it sink already? Because that would be sad. Just did so much talking about this Barracuda and now it just goes down. Oh no, there it is. I think at least one of them got sunk though, but yeah, this pretty much curtains for the first destroyer. There is another one on the way, but then again, there are so many frigates, you can't just, yeah. 2 destroyers will not survive against 1 enemy destroyer and like 15 frigates. That is definitely not going to happen. Oh my goodness me, there is a there is a little bit of a cheeky attack for Calyub, like trying to attack using blaze tanks. Unfortunately, it's failing spectacularly so far because they just ran into a cliff and now they're going to get hit by a whole bunch of attack bombers as well. Ooh, okay, they missed. There are so many labs which and already a whole bunch of T1 turrets that I don't think those... Yeah, this is even the commander, so yeah, never mind. Those tanks aren't going to get very far. On the other side though, they are actually running over and destroying some mass extractors, so yeah. Supreme AJ in a bit of trouble as his positions are getting overrun by all of this nonsense, all this nautical nonsense out from of the Aeon. Of course, Bleed assault tanks are really good at those sneaky missions. Not as good as the Cybran Wagner tanks, for example, but still really good. That is a weird configuration of Cerberus turrets, just building them around a mass extractor, but okay. I guess that means if, you know, if the Cerberus turrets are destroyed, it's a lot easier to also get the massive structures to you know, just get it over with. Just strike the killing blow, the mercy kill, so to speak. Because the massive structure is also right there. Fire base is still being protected for TJ Coops. Yerfmeister is just kind of hanging out, not attacking anymore. Probably realizing that it's a bad idea to attack into so many turrets. Alright, and now the shores of Lightbringer are being super bombarded by Jim Jack J's superior navy. So even though there are more players going navy for Team 2, it does not seem to be working out for them so far. As you can see, you know, Kalyub has been pushed back. He's now reclaiming the ships. For some reason, AJ is doing nothing of the sort. Well, I'm guessing it's because AJ is quite preoccupied with all these blaze tanks, but again, he probably should have reclaimed that instead of just retreating. But I guess it's relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is that even though there are more people going navy for Team 2, they are still struggling to hold back the naval superiority of Jim Jack J as well as AJ. Lots of J's here today. There's TJ, there's AJ, there's Jim Jack J. Oh my goodness me. Teleport, asks Arrows. Oh, also fun fact, all of these J's are also on the same team. to make matters worse. Who's asking about teleport? Arrows is asking about teleport. I'm guessing he thinks Robot is making a teleport, or maybe he's talking about himself. You can never be sure. T3 going up for Adeptus Astartes. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. I guess he just wants more build power to build those, to upgrade those massive structures quicker and stuff like that. Not the greatest of placements for those factories, but at least he seems to have it down afterwards. Just yeah, all the other factories are going to have proper adjacency with the power generators. Critical mass of ships being accumulated here by Supreme AJ. It's not quite clear if he can actually match the opposing navy though, because there are now more destroyers out. This amount of destroyers might be able to actually hold a candle to this many frigates. I guess we'll only see when they actually eventually clash. A very dangerous acts being committed here by Jim Jack J. I mean, they are dangerous to Team 2, of course. His ships are already in the opponent's bay, threatening all the naval production of this time around Banana Smoothie. They are now being pushed back by some gunships. It doesn't appear as though they've got any cruisers left over, so eventually this attack will peter out. Not the greatest air defense they've got there, but it was a good attempt. I am sure it gave at least Banana Smoothie pause for a little bit, but now it's over. Yeah, no reason to send those fighters in there. It's way too deep. And if you lose these ships in addition to losing the air fight, it's going to be completely devastating, and you're very likely to lose the air fight because the enemy air factories are right there. Will constantly be supplying fresh airships, planes. Anyway, 3 destroyers. Yeah, see, that's what Aeon destroyers are good at. They kite the opposing ships really well. I think Aeon destroyers might have a slightly longer range than Cybran ones. Actually, let me see if I can find out. Yeah, there you go. Salem class destroyer. What are these called? A proton something, right? Yeah, proton cannon. Range 80. Okay, 80 for the Cybran ones, and for the Aeon destroyers, it's going to be something along the lines of. Where is it? Oblivion Cannon 70. Okay, never mind. So the Cybran destroyers do have longer range, but at least this type of formation with this escadrilla of Aeon destroyers can very easily take out a single opposing destroyer because they just do so much damage per shot. As long as they don't miss, which they can, but as long as they don't, they will be actually. They will be good and will quickly and efficiently eliminate opposing T2 ships. Meanwhile, Euthiltha, done for TJ Coops, immediately gets found out by the opposing team though, so it's not nearly as threatening anymore. Meanwhile, Karl Franz here attempting to do a Ravager creep, building Ravagers which then target the fire base of TJ directly. Yeah, that could be a serious problem, but I mean, this is not nearly as dangerous as a friggin' chicken showing up on your doorstep and just wiping out all of your ground force into oblivion, like so. There you go, thank you for the demonstration. Lots of reclaim was left behind from these Ravagers, but it's not like TJ isn't exactly in a position to reclaim it. At the very least, the Thotha here can probably gain some free experience, as long as it doesn't get destroyed by this by these gunships out from... who's this again? Arrows, yeah. Arrows does seem to be quite an enjoyer of Aeon T2 gunships. There are plenty in the area. I'm expecting an air fight here anytime now. Yep, there you go. Of course, it's not the best idea to fly over Ythotha, because, you know, even a friendly Ythotha can seriously damage your own planes, or its allied planes with its flak cannons, but, you know, technically those flak cannons don't do too much damage, so I feel like the Ythotha should be okay. Alright, so it looks like the air fight just kind of peters out. Oh, no, they're going in for round 2. Not the greatest of air micro for Adeptus Astartes, but I feel like, yeah, the numbers advantage is going to net him the win even so. Although now with the orange planes showing up from totally not a robot as well, that could turn the situation right around. So now retreating is probably wise. However, you will just lose a couple fighters for free, but that's better than losing all of them. So yes, overall it looks like the air forces of Team 2 are superior, but that might actually be because Pie Guy is also going into Navy now. He's not... doesn't seem to be doing the greatest of jobs in terms of air production, unless he just gives all of his fighters to Adeptus Astartes immediately, but it's hard to see if it's the case or not, because... well, no, it's not hard to see actually. They're all Cybran, so yeah, mostly it's just Adeptus Astartes producing air. Jim Jack J gets destroyed by a torpedo bomber raid out from Totally Not a Robot. Very well placed torpedo raid, spotting the commander underwater and finishing it off. Now there is full share enabled once again, so it's not that big of a loss. Even though that commander did have torpedo launchers, so it could have done some serious damage, but you know, even so, sometimes things like this just happen. Too late, yeah, Adeptus Astartes being a little bit too late to save his fellow commander, but yeah, well, at least they preserved the other important things. Wait, where's the... alright, the fire base of TJ seems to be taking some serious damage from these clink hammers. He actually decides to pull back and retreat to his main base. He's now got 2 Ythothas for himself. One of them is almost destroyed, but not quite. A strategic launch, I think, has been detected right now, unless my ears deceive me. There was a nuke. Somebody in chat said something about building a nuke. Oh, actually, never mind. I hallucinated it, and there was no strategic launch detected. The robot is still like only 20% done with that nuke, so it's gonna be a while before it actually emerges. A T3 gunship raid being attempted here by Totally Not a Robot as well. Damn, Robot is so aggressive with those gunships, it's incredible. They're actually targeting a nuke launcher. Okay, did they reclaim it? Yeah, I think they reclaimed it because there was no explosion. So, okay, at the very least, Yerfmeister does manage to reclaim the nuke launcher before it's destroyed, and all the gunships do go down, so it's like he did all he could to minimize the damage. Another torpedo bomber rush, this time targeting the T3 naval factory for Pie Guy, but this time around there aren't nearly enough torpedo bombers to take that down, so it just keeps standing and producing. Yeah, unfortunately for Yerfmeister, he also needs to manage the Navy now, and the naval situation wasn't that great, you know. After the Navy out from Jim Jack J was wiped out here in this bay, they kind of gave up the naval advantage, at least on the eastern front, or on the eastern flank, I should say. On the western flank, it's still... the situation looks relatively stalematey. There was some kind of a big naval fight relatively close to Kelyub's base, but it doesn't seem to have done any substantial damage. Still, the T2 naval headquarters is still standing, so mostly it was just a mass donation from AJ to Kelyub. Meanwhile, the islands have not changed hands except for this one. Yeah, the island on the northern side, which is closer to Team 2's base, has in fact been taken over by Kalyub as well. Yeah, I remember seeing the destroyers sail in and destroy everything that AJ had on that island, and now the island changes hands, returns to its more likely master, that being Kalyub. Of course, it also could be totally not a robot. I think when I was playing this map on this corner position, I actually tried to occupy as many islands myself as I could, but I don't exactly remember how successful that was. All I remember is that we've lost that game, so whatever. It was mostly due to my poor air production though, and the enemy just building a Scathus and me not being able to keep up, well, us not being able to keep up, I suppose. Anyways, there are serious clashes still going up here. No, never mind, it's not serious, it's just a bunch of artillery. I have no idea even how they made it here, but nice job I'm doing casting today, or right now. But ultimately they were shut down. We've got a bunch of frigates rolling in, but it looks like they are just going to be a little bit too late to the party. We'll see though. The strategic launch finally occurs for Robot. He's launching it, I have no idea where. Oh yeah, you can see clearly where. He's launching it towards the main base of Yerfmeister, who is actually almost done with the Patron. It's gonna be really close actually. Can the nuke reach before this thing completes? Let's see. Oh my god, it's so close. Look at this. Oh, okay, the anti-nuke is done. So now the nuke is going to get blocked. Of course, you know, immediately TJ runs away with everything he's got. The commander, the Ethothus, everything just runs away as far away from a possible location of the nuke as they can. But the nuke does get shot down because it was in fact targeting Yerfmeister's base, so yeah. He was right on the money with that one. Super close, but it is probably like the ideal circumstance to build your nuke defense just as the enemy launches it, because that way the nuke gets wasted. It's probably the best case scenario for an anti-nuke. An air clash, of course, breaking out. All these fighters are Cybran, so I don't see any UEF fighters being produced by Pyguy, or indeed any fighters being produced by Arrows either. I think the fighters from Arrows are coming in, but at this point it's not entirely clear if there's any reason to do it. Although, I guess, technically it's 1 player versus 2 players, so it's not a very good situation for Team 1. He promptly retreats. I feel like at this point Pyguy kind of just gave up on fighter production, because seriously, where are they? He's got 10 Wasp fighters somewhere. Oh yeah, they're just sitting in base doing nothing. Okay, well, fair enough. Kalyub has completed an experimental unit as well. I'm guessing it's going to be... Oh, I thought it was going to be a Tempest, but no, it is actually a Galactic Colossus. Standing still, standing by, awaiting orders. It looks like Team 2 decided to not push too hard on the Eastern Naval Front. As you can see, they are just currently preparing, accumulating their forces on both sides. Should not really go in like this though. Your units are going to be going piecemeal. Going in piecemeal and just getting destroyed one by one. That's not a good situation. It's probably better to accumulate them and meet them like, you know, lines against lines instead of piecemeal against lines. Alright, another air fight breaks out. This time all 4 players are participating, and it looks like this time around Team 1... Well, okay, so all the fighters from Robot have been lost, but still... There looks to be a very serious fighter cloud out from Arrows, and he actually managed to chase the superior air force of Astartes away as he wipes out the few remaining fighters of Pyguy as well. So yeah, the one time Pyguy finally uses the fighters, it's not a very stellar performance, they just kind of land there. But okay, I'm sure Astartes can regroup and try again if he wishes. Restorer is now being built up by Arrows as well. Now this is very interesting because, you know, Restorers, like other T3 gunships, are actually huge help when it comes to, you know, when it comes to fighting air. So you can send in both Restorers and fighters at the same time. And as long as they've got an equal amount of fighters, they should in theory win, because the Restorers will also help a lot. The T3 build-up for TJ Coops continues. It's got a whole bunch of those lightning tanks protecting the chickens now, but also a Galactic Colossus has showed up. Now, if you're curious, this is the one detail I actually remember from watching the replay before casting. This Galactic Colossus was actually built by Yerfmeister and then donated to TJ, so he can control them together. You know, it's probably decided it's probably better this way, that, you know, one player manages all three of these experimentals instead of multiple players spending their time in APM on these. The clash on the eastern side is going surprisingly well for Team 2. I suppose this means that there weren't as many T2 ships for Team 1 as I thought. It looks like mainly, yeah, there were mainly just frigates, so Team 2 did manage to prove superiority here, although one thing that might have certainly helped is the arrival of a battleship. Yep, we've got our first battleships on the field. The Aeon T3 Omen class should make very short work of these scattered destroyers as well as frigates. There are relatively few of them. There is a whole bunch of torpedo bombers rolling in. Oh, are they going to target the battleship? Because I don't think they've got enough. An air fight is also taking place at the same time. There are now fighters out from Banana Smoothie as well, so he's also doing some air production of his own. It looks like Astartes got some commitment issues, as he is constantly trying to retreat from Robot, even though I'm pretty sure Astartes has this fight in the bag. Yeah, it looks like torpedo bombers didn't even do like 50, didn't even reduce the health of the Omen class even by 50%, so indeed there wasn't enough of them. And finally, Team 1 secures the air advantage for what seems to be like for good. Meanwhile, a ground push continues. It's now 2 Ythothas and a Galactic Colossus against a Fat Boy and a large swarm of Titans. Alright, let's see exactly how far these can reach, because, you know, the Fat Boy is going to be a serious problem. If you don't reach this Fat Boy in time, it will do so much damage that your push will probably peter out. There is also a problem of Ravagers. There is a whole bunch of Ravagers as well. I'm guessing this player, yeah, Emperor Karl Franz, really likes those Ravagers, and honestly, who could blame him? They look super epic, but yeah, unfortunately their usage is relatively limited. It looks like the Thilthas are retreating for some reason. Okay, I feel like this is an even worse scenario, because yeah, sure, you might reclaim them, but also they're going to take so much free damage into the back. It's kind of really bad. Right, now he's turning. I guess the point was he wanted to fight on more favorable terms, but it's hard to call them favorable, as the first chicken falls down and the other one will follow suit very shortly. This means that all of the Death Ball Lightning is going to do some serious damage to your own friendly units. This is a really bad situation. Now the third chicken is walking in as well, and this one will probably also take some serious damage from now the double Death Ball Lightning. Yeah, at this point you really should retreat it, at least with this one chicken. The fighters fly in out from Astartes, and yeah, of course you can't really use those Whaler gunships that showed up for a moment from Robot. Of course they're not going to do anything, as the air superiority now has been firmly secured by Team 1. But yes, the attack turns out to be a complete disaster. At the very least, you know, you could say that these 2 Ythothas have fallen down on like no man's land, so to speak, but still, no man's land works a lot better for Team 2 because they've actually got Fat Boys on the case. And these Fat Boys will present a serious problem for anybody who wants to... Okay, Lightbringer just control K's out of the game. Yeah, he just left. You can see him right here. We didn't miss anything this time. A chicken is now walking. It walked across the bottom of the sea and now emerges in the base of Supreme AJ. Now that could be a serious problem. Sure, AJ's got 3 battleships for himself, but... can they kill the chicken fast enough before it wipes out your entire base? Now that's a good question to ask. Also, there is a missile defense unit right here. If the owner of the chicken knows it, which he probably should, yep, there you go. He destroys that anti-nuke, then AJ is in some serious trouble. Of course, you know, the battleships will keep pelting the chicken. But is it going to be enough? It's a hard question to answer right now. Okay, so the chicken and the Colossus of TJ are now basically forced to fight as the Titans and the Fat Boy run in and threaten the base of TJ directly. They are now building an Awasa bomber, but it's still quite a ways away. Not sure how well it's gonna work out for them in the long run. Okay, yeah, the fat boy, speaking of running, the fat boy is just casually running away and kiting the Aetheltha to death. And not a good situation to be in, let me tell you that. I feel like at this point, honestly, Astartes can probably just build a whole bunch of Corsairs and just deal with the fat boy that way, because, you know, if you build lots of Corsairs and they don't get intercepted, they just completely shred the fat boy, and it's going to pay off, is what I'm trying to say here. A defense satellite, which I've been hovering over for a while now, a defense satellite being produced by Astartes, so I guess he's going to do some satellites. Okay, and yes, the Aetheltha out from, who's this again? Banana Smoothie, sorry. The Aetheltha from Banana Smoothie teams up with the Galactic Colossus out from Calyub to completely wipe out AJ's entire base, like I was predicting. The Guardian is gone, all of the mechs are gone, all the factories, the freaking Monkey Lord was never finished. The Aetheltha does fall down to a whole bunch of strategic bombers out from Astartes. I feel like Astartes revealed his hand a little bit too quickly here, because he definitely should not have shown these bombers to stop just a half-dead Aetheltha. The Galactic Colossus walks into the ocean. I'm not sure what's up with that. I guess he doesn't want to destroy the T3 factory, and it's a very valid target. Yeah, if you can destroy that factory, it's going to be huge. It is being bombed to hell by those Zeus bombers, but of course it does manage to finish the factory nonetheless. Now it's dead. Now it's definitely going to be taken down by the opposing Colossus, but that was some colossal damage. Pun fully intended this time. Oof, that was painful. Extremely painful for AJ. Alright, finally, the Awasa is up in the air. Both the chicken and the Galactic Colossus have been destroyed for AJ though. But the Awasa should do some serious damage, because, you know, they do have air superiority, at least they should in theory. As long as, yeah, Astartes keeps producing fighters. For some reason though, the Awasa just flies away God knows where. And all of the strategic bombers though, oh, this could be some serious problem. The strategic bombers out from Astartes are actually wrapping around, trying to attack from the side of the map. The problem is though, they have been spotted by the Spectre gunships out from Arrows who were just casually harassing the islands for Astartes. Yeah, this is okay. This is awkward. The entire Air Force of Team 2, whatever is left of it, is now scrambling to intercept the strategic bombers, and they're, oh no, oh god. Ah, this is extremely painful. Look at this. They're just gonna fly straight into the cloud of fighters. Oh no. And the Awasa is going here too. The Awasa, if the Awasa gets destroyed by these, this is gonna be just, I'm pretty sure I would have just rage quit if that was the case. And clearly, Astartes' Air Force is inferior this time around. He hasn't got enough fighters to stop all of the opposing fighters. All of the enemy, three enemy players working together in unison to destroy everything. What is the other guy doing? Okay, he's not doing anything. Yeah, at this point it's probably too late to fly in, so I respect that. But okay, the Awasa is going in. Come on, do something. Drop the bomb of the, yeah, okay. Bomb is dropped. Control K. Oh my god, the bomb went into a fighter. Oh, the bomb hit a fighter and was completely stopped. Didn't do any damage whatsoever. Okay, another bomb, come on, somewhere. Oh god, this is painful. And there is now a T3 artillery piece having been constructed by who? That's right, by Banana Smoothie. Banana Smoothie really doing the Lord's work in this game somehow. Sending those chickens to completely wipe out entire bases. This base also been wiped out, by the way. This used to belong to Jim Jack J, but yeah. Was transferred to this guy, whose name is of course Yerfmeister, and it still didn't work because, yeah, ultimately he also sent another chicken through here somewhere, and that destroyed the entire base again. Overall, lots and lots of physical pain. And also there is a Galactic Colossus out from Calyub, somehow managed to make it all this way to the back of the base of Pie Guy. I have no idea what's going on at this point. I'm pretty sure this is the same Colossus that destroyed the naval factory, just went into the sea and now is emerging. It's not doing a very good job right now though, it's just standing there, but It's destroying the... Oh, it destroyed the nuke defense. Ooh, you're in for some serious pain, especially if it vets up as well. Can it vet up? I don't think so, but it's really... It's gonna be super close. Look at this. Oh my god, it vets up, but it doesn't help because there are way too many strategic bombers. Damn, what a heroic Galactic Colossus, a 5-star veteran, walks in, destroys the friggin' nuke defense. It's... Yeah, they actually launched a nuke, which makes no sense whatsoever, because the other nuke defense is still intact in this area. So, yeah, that made absolutely no sense. But TJ's base has already been completely wiped out as well. Totally missed what that was. I'm pretty sure the Fat Boy just rolled in. Yeah, this 4-star veteran Fat Boy, supported by so many Titans, just went in and just casually just destroyed TJ's entire base. Oh well, yeah, the nuke gets intercepted like we expected. That nuke made absolutely no sense. 4 Galactic Colossi out from Yerfmeister. Okay, yeah. If 1 Colossus don't get him, if 3 chickens don't get him, well, just make 4 Colossi and you're good. Unfortunately, all they do is just kill the Fat Boy and then run away, which means they're going to be shot in the back by 10 Ravagers, and that is definitely not something you want to happen to your DCs. At least, you know, at this distance you can dodge the Ravager fire, but they're not doing a great job of that either. A counter nuke goes out from this guy. Keep forgetting his name, Yerfmeister. Where exactly is it going though? Like, they haven't destroyed anything. They haven't destroyed any anti-nukes to do that. Okay, never mind. So apparently the base of Emperor Karl Franz just is not protected at all from nukes and goes up in flames entirely. Alright, well that is at least that's one victory for Team 1. They've been taking L's left and right, but that was definitely a massive dub. The naval assault from Supreme AJ somehow still continues. His naval factory is gone. He can't produce battleships anymore, and yet he's still pushing in somehow. Those Galaxy-class battleships already bombarding the main base of Kalyub, so Team 1, even despite everything that happened, still somehow very much in the game. They've got a huge navy now on the eastern side as well. Tons of battleships. I'm not sure how many Owen-class battleships are left for Team 2 in this area. I don't see any, actually. Who was even producing them? I think it was this guy producing them, yeah, this guy. That was Lightbringer, yeah, but he's now gone. The factories have been transferred over to Robot, who is making them at a relatively slow pace. He's actually making, I think this is an aircraft carrier, not a battleship. No idea what that's all about. Alright, it looks like slowly but surely though, Kalyub is bringing it back from the brink, or bringing his base back from the brink rather. Should not really be running your Vespers into the opposing destroyers directly. That is not quite the correct way for using them. And I'm pretty sure Barracudas beat Vespers in this circumstance, but he needs to stop these battleships somehow, and so far it's not happening. Another Galactic Colossus has been completed for Kalyub. 2 Tempests, he's just sitting on 2 Tempests, not doing anything with them. I have no idea what's happening, why he's not sending them out. It's almost like they're, maybe they're stuck or something, because they should be going out and eliminating those Galaxy-class battleships, that is for sure. Because those Galaxy-class battleships are proving to be a serious problem. There is now a nuke having been launched again at the base of... God damn it, why do I keep forgetting this name? Yerfmeister, because it makes no sense, right? Yeah. And this nuke will fail once again because there are now 2 defense units. They are both... okay, one of them is loaded. And there's tons of shields now as well, because, Yerfmeister is realizing what's going on. He's realizing he's being blasted consistently by enemy artillery. You really need to keep up the shield production in order to stay alive. And there you go. 1 Havatham, even 2 of them won't do anything here. Actually, one of these Havathams is being destroyed by... okay, TJ Control K is out of the game, which is fair enough. TJ wasn't doing anything anyway. I don't even know where he is. Oh, he's... okay. Out in the middle of nowhere, that's fine. At least he won't destroy anything important for his team. A large naval clash happening between the forces of Pie Guy and Robot on the eastern side, I should say. There is no clear winner as of now, but there are so many battleships for Pie Guy that I'm still pretty sure he doesn't need to be worried. Like, yeah, sure, there are 2 battleships now out from Banana Smoothie as well, but it's just 2 versus like 5 or even 6, and that's not gonna work out too well. Like, sure, you've got destroyers and stuff. These destroyers could do some damage, but ultimately, no. Yeah, so the two final Galaxy-class battleships out from Supreme AJ have been sunk. They have done some horrific damage, some really nice damage, but they are no more. There are now like two Novaxes out from Astartes. I'm sure he's working on a third as we speak. There's 1, 2, never mind, he's working on a Scathis. Okay, that's way more exciting. Is there anything of the sort being attempted by Team 2? You know it. You can bet your money on it. There's of course a Scathis out for Robot as well, although it's not quite done yet. The Omen-class battleships pursuing Galactic Colossi who are running away from them while being underwater. I have no idea what's happening here. Why these 3 GCs are there at all. I'm guessing these are the ones that were attacking the forward base. They ran away before. But now, with the nuke down go all the Ravagers, down goes yet another fat boy. The GCs really should not come out of the water though, that will just hit them all that much harder with all of these battleships in the area. But okay, well, they do come out. The Ravagers are now completely gone, so the GCs could do some serious damage if they penetrate this front line. Like I said, on the eastern side, complete and total domination for Pie Guy. No, not even a chance. He's also got a massive swarm of broadswords now as well. Not massive, but, you know, a relatively large squadron of broadswords who are also doing all sorts of horrible things to the opposing navy. Galactic Colossi are approaching. They are being met with a bunch of restorers, but, you know, this many restorers I'm pretty sure aren't enough, especially once Team 1 realizes what's happening and sends their own fighter squadrons in, because, yeah, they should have air superiority at this point, definitely. Like, what is AJ, I mean this guy, what is Astartes doing? If Astartes knows what he's doing, he should have air superiority by now. They've won so many times and the enemy doesn't even dare to contest. But yeah, the GCs have been stopped. How unfortunate for Team 1. Did not penetrate nearly as deep as I thought they would. That's what she said. We are going for a bit of a stalemate, a bit of a lull, finally, in this crazy, all-around crazy game. I'm really enjoying it, though. It is incredibly awesome. Okay, teleporter done now for AJ, so he's going for a telemaser, now going for laser. The base of Robot is being bombarded now by the Novaxes. The Scathis is operational now. It's firing its first barrage. Where is that gonna go, I wonder? I suppose we'll see shortly. Looks like it might be going for the base of Yerfmeister. They really hate Yerfmeister for some reason. He is not even building anything. Like, he hasn't got a T3 artillery or like a friggin' Paragon or anything. No, he's literally just a nuke launcher, and they hate it so much they just need to destroy it. It's a lot of hate. He's got 4 nuke defense units. That is fairly impressive. The Scathis, of course, breaks the entirety of his shields in one barrage. The second barrage should probably finish off this base, and I really want to see it, so let's get a better angle here. Okay, a couple more shots should deal with all the generators. Okay, what? Are you serious? It didn't destroy anything. What? Okay, alright. Telemaser, he was seeing get defense. Okay, good call. Telemaser is in fact happening, but how do you know? Yeah, you know, it's not that player who's going for Telemaser. They actually both got Telemaser, so they could both teleport in at the same time and destroy the Scathis at least. But their own Scathis is now no, not quite, almost operational. Do they know that the enemies are building a wrong team? Sorry. Yeah, they do know. So I'm guessing the Scathis should be targeting the opposing Scathis. I don't know. It's hard to say. Of course, the base the base of Yerfmeister is like a couple shells away from being completely obliterated in a glorious chain reaction. Supreme AJ control. Oh. Okay, so AJ teleported directly on top of a Scathis, but there's like a... I honestly don't even know what killed him. I don't see any turrets. Must have been just the support commanders. Yeah, he's got tons of support commanders, so they did I guess they did all the damage they needed. In theory, you could have killed both the opposing commander as well as the Scathis. That did not happen. However, the Scathis for Astartes is finally operational. The Scathis as well as the... What? Okay, yeah, finally the Scathis shells from Robot finally get Yerfmeister. Once again, I don't think it matters because Yerfmeister only literally has a nuke and some nuke defense. This is not the correct person to be targeting. I'm hoping at least at this point Pie Guy has figured out that he needs a lot more shields as well as a nuke defense. Okay, he's got a nuke defense, but these shields are very clearly insufficient. Need way more. Okay, so I'm guessing the Scathis will be targeting the opposing Scathis, right? Because together, the two Novaxes as well as the Scathis should put a stop to this one, I think. Of course, the spread of the shell is going to be insane, but together they should do... Yep. They're almost... The shields are bursting. The shields are bursting. Okay, yeah, the spread is way too much, though. Yeah, didn't really reveal any vulnerable spots in the defense just yet. You can destroy this one generator, but it won't, like, cause a chain reaction. The targeting the commander directly, though, might do the trick, though. That's gonna be a serious explosion. Right, the orange Scathis is now attacking, still attacking the same thing. You really should not be doing that. Oh, Robot gets annihilated by just the Novax beams. How? Seriously, just two Novaxes just killed the commander. What? Okay, this is not right. And also the Scathis took damage from the calm explosion as well. Let's see what the next barrage brings from Astartes. Okay. And it fails to pop any shields again. Meanwhile, on Astartes' own base, the situation is getting quite dire because, yeah, you need to construct way more shields than that, my guy. Why are the engineers not doing anything? You need like 30 more shields, come on. Like, your Novaxes are about to pop as well. Okay, there you go. Got rid of the opposing Scathis. Oh, the Restorers, the entire air force of Team 2 is flying into the base of Team 1 of Astartes. All of these Restorers could present some serious problems. You need SAMs like yesterday, as well as everything else. Alright, well, I'm sure at this point the base of... Yeah, the base of... who is this Robot? Yeah, the base of Robot is going to be completely in ruins. You should probably pick a different target at this point. Okay, the second Air Force comes in of Team 1 from Pie Guy. The SAMs together with the with the fighters should take care of these Restorers. There is a whole bunch of Strat Bombers though coming in. They're going straight for the commander of Adeptus Astartes. This is a serious problem. I'm not sure if he can avoid. Nope. That is way too many. Brilliantly played by Arrows, bringing those strategic bombers from another direction. And now Pie Guy is the sole survivor of Team... What? Oh, okay. I was gonna say Pie Guy is the sole survivor of Team 1, but nope. He just quits the game because he doesn't feel like playing anymore. What a shame too. I was looking forward for an epic comeback from Team 1, but unfortunately it never happened because a few too many players on Team 2 were still alive. Even if you kill the one with the Scathis, you know, all of these Strat Bombers, all of the Navy, all of these artillery, where are they? Here, yeah. They weren't really reaching much because, you know, the main base of Astartes was of course out of range, but ultimately all of these Strat Bombers and the Navy were just a little bit too much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this replay, because I enjoyed it immensely. It was awesome. I am really glad I got to witness that. And I hope you were as well. Alright, so at this point I am going to be ending the stream, because it's way too late. It's almost midnight here, so I definitely should end it, lest my neighbors come in and murder me. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you can excuse this gigantic break in the middle of the stream. I am terribly sorry about that. Sometimes life just be like that, you know. But anyway, the replays were super fun. I'm glad I found these, and yep, I hope to do something similar soon. Maybe even tomorrow, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I will just be actually playing instead of casting for a change. That would be also pretty cool. But we'll see. Let's not let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. As per usual, you know, you can join my Discord server. You can whatchamacallit? You can join my Discord server and your replays, you can post them there if you think you participated in a really cool game and you want it to be cast by me. By all means, you can join my Discord server and send the replays there in the replay submission channel. That would also be appreciated, as long as those replays don't get desynced, you know, because they often do, but if they don't, then I would be more than happy to watch your replays and cast them maybe live, maybe in a recording, depending on what you would prefer. So yeah, for now though, this is all I've got for you. So goodbye, take care everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.